First 3 lines. It continues with a big fan actually. So yeah, blow us a kiss emoji and follow us and like us and maybe we'll blow you a kiss emoji back.
Hey, we did blow some kiss emojis back, right?
So for for the sake of everybody watching, could you guys please give us introductions to yourselves and the podcast?
So my name is Ernie. I am the main host, I would say, for Drunken Ramblings.
Right.
Joel over here, Gareth as well. Usually we have Ivan and Joseph on, but they're not here today.
Sadly,
Yeah.
Miss Ivan's,
Me too. I wish he was here.
Yeah.
Joseph.
He's such a sweet guy, Ivan, yeah.
Yeah. Joseph unfortunately had something on, but
Yeah.
couldn't make it. So usually we just meet up with people who interest us, I would say. And then we just have a casual convo, random. And then the way I got to know these two is we wanted to actually reach out to other podcasters. And just got to know them, make friends, and then let it grow from there.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I think to add on to that, it's more like sharing perspective, sharing stories.
Right.
So people that are very interesting, we find that there's a lot to learn from this person. We want to bring this person on, we want to listen to their stories. So I guess every week is always a new story for us.
Okay.
We make a new friend or so.
Like we just did one with
Amazing.
Oracle reader.
Amazing. Oracle in Singapore.
Okay. Yeah. So interesting stories.
Got freaked out near the end.
Yeah.
Well, if we can make you more freaked out, then
Which is what tonight is about.
I am now.
I think we-
Expectations.
It went through the roof.
Because now you've set expectations for us as well. Because you were like, oh, we're freaked out towards it. It's like, hey, wait a minute.
We're the guys that should be doing
That's
that.
our show. Freaking out people, that's what we do. Okay, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. We just wanted to say that the new episode of Ghost Maps went live, was it last Thursday, Carl?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so last Thursday, as all of you hopefully know, new episodes of Ghost Maps go online every second and fourth Thursday of the month. So the new episode was, this episode was the second part of a 2-parter. So it is a second part. It's a second part of a 2-parter that's a sequel to a previous 3-parter episode, if I remember right. So this is about the old training grounds at On Red Road. Kyle, I think you're probably going to be the best person to explain why, to explain the story behind this episode. Did you guys listen to the new episode yet, by any chance?
Not the
Oh, yeah.
latest.
It's okay if you can say, you
not
can
the
say no if you
latest.
haven't yet.
It's because we want Carl to talk about it.
Because everybody always talks about like how the narrator has such a soothing voice. No. It's Kyle's voice you guys want to hear.
No. So as we go on with the episode, we will address some of the live comments. So WS say he turned in and saw this sausage party. Guys,
Hey.
Yep.
we're
What were you
trying-
expecting?
It's episode 3. We will get on some female guests in due time. In fact, the next episode is most probably going to be a female guest.
Yep.
Tune in for the announcement. And Lost in Malaysia said, "Who's the guy in the back?"
What guy in the
What
back?
guy in the back?
Hey, don't freak us out.
Don't talk nonsense. Huh?
Yeah. Hey, this.
Wait, it's only
They
us
tried
here,
that,
right?
that. They tried this whole like who's that guy in the back?
Oh, they did it that time.
The last
Yeah.
time.
Oh, so there we go.
Yeah, must be some
Wait,
shadow.
you be careful. If you feel the chills, it's probably the aircon. Nothing else.
Isn't there like a
Yeah.
magazine cover in the back or something?
Yeah,
like that?
pretty
Maybe that's why.
sure.
Maybe it's the eyes.
Yeah. Could,
Yeah.
Carl, is it beside the Carl-on box? Nothing.
Yeah.
I don't see anything.
So anyway, this guy I don't know. His name is literally I don't know. Do you guys work other jobs? I presume referring to all of us. Start with me. I am a filmmaker. I actually work in the film industry. I do commercials and mostly direct and produce content, and I run a small post production house. Therefore, I'm able to do this. Yeah, this is not something that I do for fun because that will take a lot of money.
I mean, it is fun.
Definitely,
It is fun.
It's a lot of fun. I love telling ghost stories. I've been doing it since I don't know.
I'm going to use that as a segue. So, just before we continue on with that question, can you talk a little bit about the latest episode, Carl?
Yes,
Because clearly they want to hear it.
Okay.
And yours-
Yeah, I'm at the edge of my seat.
so the
we'll get you a bigger chair.
this is actually a continuation of the 3 generations of ghost stories. We bring back the character Terrence and New. So it's actually based on my uncle. So basically, the three generations of ghost stories is based on the family that's a mix between us, our family stories lah.
Yeah.
So bring back my uncle's story. So my uncle was one of the earlier batches of policemen in Singapore. So they trained near the particularly haunted area of Singapore, which is Bukit Brown Cemetery.
Yeah.
So there was this. And there were people who actually resonated with the actual episodes when they saw it on YouTube, and they had some comments. So basically there was this their training barracks was facing the forest, and beyond the forest is actually the graveyard, Bukit Brown Cemetery. So my uncle is like he's really not scared of ghosts one lah. So like most of my family, not including me.
I hear you describing your family that way quite often.
Yeah, no, I've met his family. I've not met his uncle, but I've met his dad, and I can absolutely believe that his dad is the kind of guy that would be like, what goes?
Yeah, exactly. So so he didn't see stuff, but he heard a lot of stories lah. So the latest episode is actually about the whole, and apparently this is a real story. He heard it from another bunk, and an entire bunk saw a warrant officer that did not exist knock on their door so hard that the door almost initially fell off. Obviously, everybody crowded around, a bunch of cadets. So they crowded around at one corner and then hope that the charm would actually repel off the spirit. And apparently this kind of thing is very common. I have a theory though. I always have a theory.
You always have a theory.
I have a theory is that whichever spirit that they saw is a manifestation of their fear. So it may be like, for example, if let's say if you're of Islamic religion, you probably see a Pontianak or a Pocong. And if you're a Chinese guy, you probably see like a Chinese spirit, right?
Hang on, I need to interrupt. The last time somebody pointed this out to us, shouldn't we be calling her Miss P? It's a bit late now.
Miss P.
Oh, you've never heard this before?
No.
Okay, so apparently,
Segue again, like double segue.
Yeah. See, this is why the episode's gone on for so long. Apparently, what's supposed to happen is you're not supposed to refer to her by her name.
That name.
Yeah, so, because it means that you're calling her attention.
Oh, okay.
So
It's a little bit too late for now.
it's a bit too late now, but like, you know, apparently one of the most commonly used aliases is Miss P.
Oh.
So I suppose it's more at night than anything else. Once you reach a certain hour, you're supposed to like
Miss P. Okay.
just refer to her as Miss P.
Okay.
I now know why in army they tell us not to say the name.
Oh
Yeah, I've
What?
never known.
Oh, you had that where they told you not to say
Like
the name.
they just told us don't say the name. Just
Okay.
if you smell anything or you see
yeah,
anything,
yeah.
don't mention anything. That's
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah,
basically
yeah, yeah.
the
Don't
rule of thumb.
Don't acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Don't acknowledge it, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, going back, right? So yeah, basically there's this whole bunch of stories that I uncovered recently, from his days in the police force lah. Yeah, unfortunately he didn't see anything. But I actually been to one of the places that had the actual story. So it's a real place in Frankel Avenue. I remember Frankel Avenue. There's this terrace house where they stayed in, right? That is actually haunted by a female ghost who hanged herself. So yeah, I actually visited that place with my dad, and the moment we reached there, right, there was this like super strong wind.
Yeah.
And
Like
we were
what? Open the door. Then
No, we didn't even enter the unit. We were like,
You just feel the aura. Is it?
you just feel the aura like throughout. Then he was just telling me, and then like I remember when we went back, right, and he was still telling the story. He said apparently she's wearing. Yeah, I finished his sentence. Pink.
Oh my. Wait,
I had this image in my mind. I like it was probably pink, and then he said pink. I said pink, and then we both felt like the chills. Were like, okay, let's not talk about this.
hair stands. Yeah.
Because
Serious.
they know, like they can feel, and apparently they can read your thoughts. So yeah, it's really messed up in that sense. So sometimes when I go to like creepy places, then I have really messed up thoughts. I'm like in my mind's like, yeah, no such thing lah. Then I'm like, sorry.
But you actually saw it. I mean,
I didn't see it. I had this
it's
like,
just vision.
you know,
vibe.
like this visual image, like it's
Okay.
probably pink, right? And then I said it out, pink, and then he's like, yeah, pink. You know, like oh, shit.
Like, is it like a quick flash kind of
No,
thing?
no, I didn't see anything. It's
Oh,
just
it's
like
just
a
like
thought,
something
like,
lah.
yeah, like it's probably pink,
Oh my
like
God.
almost like you know, like cliche, like,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
red,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, like pink, but I don't know why I said pink. Yeah, so that is not really a horror story. I think it's more creepy than anything else. Like probably a coincidence.
That's the weirdest father-son bonding story I've ever heard.
Yeah. Bring ask your dad to bring you to haunted places, right?
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's
So
alright.
let's continue with the questions.
Yes,
So
okay.
go this way, right?
So I
You
mean,
guys work other jobs, so basically
Oh,
he's
yeah.
asking if we are like useless lah. Are we useless?
Yeah.
Do we contribute
I
to
hope
society?
I mean, we are quite useless.
Yeah,
I mean,
so,
I mean, you know, like a base level usefulness, like, I suppose. I mean, I'll just jump in first. I am a freelance writer and an author as well, so you know, I won't shamelessly pimp my stuff. I do that enough as it is already. So I'll just jump over to you guys. Like, what do you guys do when you're not drunkenly rambling?
Currently, I part time on another podcast with Reggie at Financial Coconut.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I just help them find guests, a bit of back end stuff, take away some workload because he does everything. So yeah, I do that part time while just drifting and being useless
No,
in
man.
general.
Like, the things that you guys do is good. Like I feel like the Drunken Ramblings Podcast is really amazing.
Yeah.
Could use more booze lah. Can get more drunk. I feel like you guys haven't reached the threshold.
Looking at you.
call ourselves Drunken Rambling, but we actually never get drunk on episode.
Or drink.
Oh, I'm sure you guys drink doing
Here and
this.
there.
Yeah.
It depends on the vibe of the guest.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Because we've been on, what is it, twice now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
so we've been on twice now, and the
Yeah.
first one we definitely
We drank more that one,
Yeah.
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 But it very guest dependent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them just totally know, then we're okay.
Yeah.
No worries.
I think I finished about half a bottle
Of wine.
of white wine when I was.
He brought his own bottle
Oh,
and,
nice.
and finished it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, I've got like gout,
Like
which
one
you
shot.
know, which is far scarier than any hantu I've ever experienced. That's not a challenge, by the way, to any hantu out there
Yeah.
listening. No, so like I'm okay with wine, so I brought wine over, and I was like, oh, this is quite cheap wine. So
So WSA say you guys must aim for drunken master level of rambling.
Can join us.
Yep. And I mean, slight tangent, like when you mentioned Reggie, right? I did invite Reggie to the show to date there. He said he has no ghost stories to tell. But Reggie, I know where you work at.
And your office is way scarier than this.
it's like a threat.
No. The invitation still stands, Reggie, if you're watching this episode.
That sounds like such a threat. No, it's like, Reggie, I know where you work. I will
No, it's
find
like-
you, and you will tell us ghost
I don't want to
stories.
reveal too much of the location, but it's a place that's very, very...
Very close to your heart.
yeah, definitely.
That's a nice way to put it.
yeah.
For me, I'm actually an account manager in an insurance agency. So very boring job. But anyway, to add on to what Ernie said just now, actually a lot more credit to him. Without him, there will not be any Drunken Rambling podcast.
Yeah.
You know, we won't be here today also. So I think he made it a point to step out of his comfort zone because I think he's been wanting to do this for a long, long time. So he finally just, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna do it. So he did it. Every week consistently, he'll invite guests, he'll invite all of us to come on the show to talk. So a lot more credit to you lah. Don't be so like hard on yourself lah. a bit romance here.
Yeah,
No,
you
but
need to,
it's fine.
You need to like...
Sorry.
look at the camera.
A bit romance here lah.
I mean, we still Chinese lah. We don't praise ourselves.
It's okay,
Oh,
lah.
yeah, Singapore style.
That's okay. We'll praise you then. It's fine.
So that's it from me, Gareth.
I pay taxes. Useful member of society. I'm in the shipping industry, so I don't go out to sea though. I just handle the admin stuff back home. But you know, going out to sea is a pretty scary thing as well. Yeah.
I like how you started immediately with I
I
pay
pay
taxes.
taxes.
just to make it clear that you're not doing some like illegal stuff or anything. I have a legal job, I pay taxes
No,
and everything.
The point I was going at with paying taxes is that I'm a contributing society, member of society.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
Then
quick question. You said that the sea is scary, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever been out on the sea?
I just came back from a cruise.
recently.
Oh,
Cruise.
Wait, a cruise.
Yeah.
But not like a job kind of cruise.
Not sure, no.
Okay,
yeah.
but you know, got stories right from the sea.
No, I'm not in the cruise. I wasted, right?
Okay.
Wait, you're expecting like mermaids or sea serpents, is it?
I don't know, like
that actually we could ask like people who've been to the Navy. So
That'd be
Tell
quite
a friend.
interesting,
Yeah,
actually,
but
yeah.
I mean, I cannot properly tell for my friend, but yeah,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Our
It'll
other
be-
two hosts, Joseph and Ivan, one is a dancer, one is a florist. Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, which one's the florist?
Ivan.
Ivan's the florist.
Ivan's the florist?
Ah,
Can you hear that?
yeah.
How's that feedback?
yeah. Do you hear that?
I know.
It was like weird, like sound.
No. No?
Kind of
Okay.
More like a whiny.
It's not static or anything.
It's a bit uncomfortable, guys.
It's a wine.
So yeah. So my Lost in Malaysia, our friend Lost in Malaysia say that the sea is another like whole nother horror story. Yes, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I used to fish quite a bit. Then I think there's the uncle always tell you like don't play around with the sea. Like
What do you mean?
like respect the sea lah. Like don't like pee anywhere.
Like when you go hiking in
yeah,
mountains,
it's-
that kind of
yeah,
thing.
it's pretty much the same thing lah. Respect nature lah, because nature can bite back.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
there's like things out there that we cannot explain lah. Like slight tangent. I read this. I feel that it's a fake story, but I'm still gonna say it anyway because apparently the Navy, right? There's this captain who joined the Navy. Like he's English educated, so don't believe him because they were on board this very old ship that survived World War II. For training. So there's this Topekong. Topekong is like the earth deity for the Taoist religion. So to protect, to bless. Then he removed it because he feel that there shouldn't be like anything because it's secular, right? So then stuff started happening. They started seeing things on the ship because it's a World War II ship. So yeah, then eventually he got spooked and he got pretty sick. And then yeah.
But what a scary place to be in. I mean, can you imagine on a ship, right, stranded in the middle of the ocean, nothing else inside.
Actually, that was
You have nowhere else
It's
to
that
go.
isolation.
You have nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
it's the isolation lah.
I mean, if for out in the sea stuff, they can pick up things on their radar and they have no explanation for it. Or they can even for those ships where have they try surveillance ships, they try to hear for sounds, and if they pick up something that they cannot explain, that kinds of it's all creepy stuff. So that's what my friend told me, but I cannot get into that lah. And also as well as the fear of being stranded in sea. So I was in a cruise ship, which was very comfortable and very stable and very big. Yeah. And I can feel the vastness of the ocean. And it's so, like, you can just imagine what can be under there. It's so deep.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Abyss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was that. I swear to God, I keep hearing some weird sound. Technical difficulties, I guess. Poor thing, I blame you all.
No, I'm just reading the comments.
It's like,
Because they keep saying who's the guy sitting on the sofa at the back.
Hey,
You guys want to
why are you talking?
Why they keep? What guy? Why so people? Why?
What sofa?
Anyway, just now, Kyle, you were saying something about like there's etiquettes in the sea also, right? Like there are things not to do. So it's similar to like. I didn't know that there's sea etiquettes. Like, you go to forest, I know the etiquette, you cannot look up, you cannot point your torchlight up or something like that.
Yeah.
But the sea, what else you cannot do? You cannot pee in the sea.
Wait,
You can't.
well, okay.
You can't.
I think just for just out of don't pee in the sea lah.
but what if it's like that swimming thing,
No, you must ask for your ask for
Permission first.
Yeah, permission.
Oh.
Yeah, like just ask lah, but they won't approve lah. Then you just pee off. You ask already, they just pee off.
I like how you they won't approve, just pee lah.
Okay, so I am not an authority on this, and we must always have this disclaimer. Just because we tell ghost stories doesn't mean that we're experts in ghosts. We're not ghost hunters.
definitely, yeah.
If you are looking for ghost hunters, you're on the right channel. You're on the wrong channel.
We definitely don't want to go looking for those,
I did that. Not fun. Don't do it. This is really stupid. Okay. So anyway, I think the ones that I heard of is if you catch a weird fish, throw it back. Like weird. Like I caught one before. It didn't look like a fish. It looked more like a snake kind of eel thing. Like it's really weird. And
Where
then
was this?
Like in open sea lah.
In Singapore?
In Singapore. Then the uncle just helped me cut the thing. He said, don't catch it, then cut. Huh? He cut my line. They were like, hey, I just spent like $10 on this. He said, don't catch better. Don't bring it out to the boat. Then I'm like,
What if it's just a eel?
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if I caught a fish that had my face on it, I'll throw it back.
No, I don't know.
That's a bit weird.
I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, and then there's like like even if you fish on like places where there is known to be haunted, right? Also it's quite scary. I didn't know where I got the. I probably wouldn't do it now, but I when I was like in my early 18, 19 age, right? I did a lot of fishing with my friends. We went to really haunted places to fish, like Changi Beach, and we fished overnight. That's when the high tide
Such
comes.
thing.
Yeah.
Haunted fishing.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that also though.
haunted fishing areas lah. So there's this place called the Seven Pipes. So it's near Buruk Jetty, that area.
Okay.
So that whole area, apparently that place is super haunted.
What makes it haunted? Like people die
apparently
there?
apparently there's this security guard that will ask you to get lost, but he's actually a ghost. Like he say you can fish here, but he's actually a ghost. Then if you like don't hit his warning, then he will like scare you to death or something. I don't know, but we didn't see anything. But you could feel that, you know, that's scary. Like in Changi Beach, right, where we fished, it's very near to Old Changi Hospital. It's like Old Changi Hospital is just on the hill. So we can always feel that vibes.
And there's nobody else fishing there. Like you guys will only go there.
No, there's probably like
there's
a couple of guys lah. But you know, like we're so far apart.
Okay.
Then you're
okay.
like,
But you don't know if they're real or not lah.
they are they're pretty real lah. We talk to them lah.
Oh,
So
okay
then
lah.
there was this auntie that was really weird. I remember one time there was this auntie that was really weird, like obviously homeless, pushing a trolley. Then she looked like just a spirit lah. But everybody saw, but nobody said anything. She just walked past us like that. Hey, let's go. Pretty much homeless. I think she's homeless. She's just very creepy. The way she moved lah, very creepy.
And this was in the middle of the night.
Yeah, and
I mean,
Changi.
who pushes a cart or something in the middle of the night?
But then you think about it, it's kind of scary. It's kind of funny, right? If a spirit push a trolley.
But this shit happens.
And it's the you know, it's the NTUC kind. The ghost go shopping.
Yeah.
No lah, it can't be what.
Oh
right?
my god.
But shit, this shit happens. I think.
happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it happens.
I mean, it's weird stuff.
It's
lah.
weird.
It's plausible.
but It's
It's plausible,
plausible,
right?
Yeah.
Also, I've met some aunties who are genuinely quite frightening.
Karens
Well, not Karens, but like, you know, when like say you go like order like meatball or something, there's some aunties who are like very mean to you. They're not frightening, they're just scary.
Yeah.
Yeah lah.
Yeah.
That terrifies me a whole lot more.
So like, I don't know. Say that in India there's a stereotypical ghost, woman in white sari. Do Malaysians have? First of all, we are not Malaysians. We are Singaporeans.
Don't sound so
But-
defensive.
but-
lah.
Yeah, close enough. Close enough.
we are very close neighbors. I consider us Southeast Asians. Okay.
Yes.
So no difference there.
Well, that's the thing. Like she's
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm assuming I don't know is a she, but I don't know. You're saying that there's stereotypical ghost, a woman in a white sari. I think the whole lady in white thing, it seems to almost transcend
Every culture.
Yeah, every culture has it. Like, you know, we could easily talk about like the Southeast Asian one. Miss P is the lady in white, everything. You know, even if you're not specifically referring to Miss P, like, you know,
Yeah.
when you do national service and all that, like,
Yeah.
you know, since might as well lean into the whole sausage
Yeah.
fest comment. And then everybody was like talking about like, you know, when you do NS, you always see like this lady in white hanging out on here or something like that. But even like Western cultures also, you got the lady in white thing.
Actually, talking about this, right? Does the color of the dress have any significance?
I was told there is.
Like white.
Yeah.
Some
Like,
people
you're
see lady
supposed
in
to
red.
is vengeful
Pink.
or green. You're supposed to avoid red and green. I was told.
I've never heard of green.
I've never
green
heard.
was
Red and green it comes from
interchangeably.
Chinese culture lah.
Right.
You know when you burn like packages for your
Right.
for your deceased family, right? So there is red and green. So that's how they distinguify.
Oh.
Yeah,
Right.
I forgot which one is which already. So quick TLDR, like there was a story where we told last year's 7th month. It's about my friend's mom who used to work in KTV, right? And then they were closing at 3 a.m. and this is during 7th month. And in Chinatown Sego Lane used to be a funeral parlor where all the people, you know, they do all the embalming. Then it turned into KTV in the late 70s or something. So she worked in the 80s, 90s period, right? So she saw a bunch of people entering the last room. And she wanted to go and ask them, hey, we closing already. And then the mama son was like, don't. Those are not human. And that story was based on that. Of course, the story we wrote is more high-tech lah, got CCTV all lah. But she saw it with her own eyes. And she told me, and then after that, she said she got a Sakyang tattoo of the day. Sakyang tattoo is like a Thai amulet tattoo.
Oh,
where
oh,
it protects
okay.
you from evil lah.
That one incident sort of changed her.
Yeah. It's quite creepy. Like if I saw that and they were in red and green, respectively. So like I think female is green, male is red.
And somehow they all have long hair on, right? I mean, there's no sort
I
of thing that has like short or like buzz cut, bowl cut kind of thing. No, right? It was all long hair on her.
Interesting.
Well, there was a
Interesting
whole-
question.
there
No
was a
spike, no spike.
Culture in Singapore, like probably like from like the 60s to like the 80s and early 90s, where men weren't allowed to have long hair. What? So, you know, I guess during that time, all the male hantu had to cut their hair. So
I don't know
Really?
I from what
What?
I've
That
read,
male hantu had to cut their hair.
Cut
they are a reflection of who they were before
Yeah.
they passed on. So probably, I mean, I've seen once in my entire life. I believe I've seen once that I can definitely say that it was a ghost. I seen once only. It was 7 p.m. and there were people walking around. Then I was walking on this long walkway, And I think I told this story before also. So
Was this very long ago or recently?
this was long ago. This was probably my first time seeing. I think it was just sway lah because I walked past a funeral earlier that day. So I saw this person standing all the way at the end, but you could tell like this is not a normal person. Like either this person is like they has some issues or like this is not normal. My gut feeling, and I was like, probably 14. So I took the other way. So I walked downwards this way, all the way down towards the other walkway, which is not sheltered. This is sheltered. And then I turned back. I saw like quite far, like at least a good 500 meters already. And then I saw like two people just walk through this thing. And you cannot tell like is apparently when I told it to people who can see, they say yeah it's normal. You can't really tell the features. I cannot remember the features. I just know that it was a shape.
The shape
Yeah, but I saw the thing. Basically, it looked like a human, like a normal person with normal clothing, but it was translucent. And then I freaked out and I ran. So back then, there were people still like chilling at after school at the like the void deck, right? So I saw my friend. And I told my friend, I said, you come and see. And my friend like, because I'm not normally like this. And then he said, what? Then I showed him. It was gone. Then he said, what did you see? He knew that I saw something dirty.
Yeah, and that's your first time some more, right?
Yeah, and then he's like, I said, never mind. He said, you better go home and pray. Then I went home and prayed.
Oh man.
It was damn
So
scary.
that pushed you on your path to being this all hantu.
Actually, I feel like it's like
I love
Oh
man.
You gotta say 3 times.
I feel like it's just my parents.
Well, sure, blame your parents.
No. My mom is really into horror. So I mean, she is really messed up lah. She played horror movies and show us when we were young. So I think that kind of, and even to this day, she I mean, because she's Thai, right? She listens to Thai horror podcasts. But I don't understand a word of it. So that's the irony lah.
I think that might be the defining factor. The fact that his mom made him watch horror movies when he was young, and my brother made me watch Exorcist when I was a kid.
Exactly. That's the link. There's the link between us.
I mean, that's nice.
She
right?
made you watch horror stories? Or
No.
She just plays it and
She
then
just,
you.
and as a kid, and me and my sister, you expect us not to watch, and then she will turn down all the lights. And as a kid, you're like, oh my god.
But what a fun family activity, watching the ring bonding together.
Exactly.
I know.
Not the ring. It's like some Thai horror.
Thai horror.
Thai horror. No, they don't joke around.
Yeah, you don't play
They
around.
don't
with
play
Thai
around,
horror.
right? Like it's really messed up.
Okay, at the top of your head, right? What's the scariest Thai horror movie? I mean, since we must have watched quite a few horror movies. What's the
sure.
scariest Thai horror movie you watched before?
Wow.
With the
Mine,
fan
I know, is like
favorite,
the Shutter.
Everyone going with the fan favorite.
Alone.
I think. Okay, so I do like Shutter. But I feel like horror, right, is very personal experience. I think for me is Nanak, the 1999 one. So where the husband is actually living with his deceased wife. And he came back. It's like feudal Thailand. So he came back from the war. So the wife already passed away already. So but she's like a spirit lah. She's like, it's so heartbreaking, but at the same time it's so messed up. So there's this part, okay, spoilers, where they destroyed the monks is like they decide to do something because she's feeding him like rats and stuff, like to eat, like to, you know, because she's it's a little bit like Ghost, you know, the American movie like Ghost, but
Patrick
in
Swayze
a
one,
more messed up kind of way. So the movie ends with them destroying her skull. And I don't know why, like when they knock in that is like the scariest part for me. Like it is so messed up because her spirit is coming to go and stop them, but at the same time she's so heartbroken.
Oh man.
It's I don't know, like it may not be scary to other people, but it was scary to me lah.
Yeah.
And if you were to say that other Asian story, I think on the top of my list I feel Dark Water. Dark Water does it. Even to this day, I think Dark Water will scare me quite.
Dark Water, Ang Mo show.
No.
It was,
Dark Water is Japanese.
Japanese original.
I mean, of course, the Americans have to go to mess it up lah, but you know, it is what it is lah.
I can feel it. I can feel it.
It's okay.
Filmmaker, sorry.
But also, I feel like we, as when we are young, all these films, scary movies are very relative to at which point of our lives we are at. Because I remember a scary film, I don't even know the name and title. Basically, I was the same thing, and my mom was watching it, but I was in the room and I watched it. And until today, it's like still the scariest movie I've seen. Or because as a kid, it was so scary. Yeah, and I can't even remember the plot. I just remember a lot of jump scares. I remember the demon possessed this lover and then killed the lover. Then it possessed the dead body of the lover to kill the other lover, and all that thing happened. And I was
No, it's like memories lah, basically.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
And you know
Chucky for me is I can't even be around dolls now.
Yeah, legit.
Yeah,
No, but
like it freaks me out lah.
that's exactly why, like, when he says it's personal, and when you all say it's personal, I completely understand. I love Chucky. I love
Yeah, same.
watching this.
Yeah,
I watched Chucky when I was
love
older
watching
and I didn't have
No,
fear
I
for
watched it when I was young.
No, that's why.
Exactly.
Why? It was-
Exactly.
Like when I was a teenager, one of the first dates I brought like my girlfriend at the time was Bride of Chucky.
Oh, nice.
It wasn't even a plan like, the whole like teenager plan like, oh, she'll get scared and then she'll hold on. I think we both just really wanted to watch Bride of Chucky. So,
It's just a very enjoyable.
Yeah.
It is a very enjoyable, but
Yeah.
not for him lah.
well, not, clearly,
Probably not.
Maybe
lah.
you watch it as an adult
Maybe
for the
now
first
it's
time.
fine.
Exactly.
But I haven't watched it
How
recently.
old were you when you watched Chucky?
Kids, like
Oh, that'll do it.
really
Yeah,
young,
and
really
it
young.
affected you
Yeah,
that
well,
time.
And then like every time I go toilet, I always think like Chucky would come out in the shower or some shit.
Oh my god.
There's but just going back to the whole idea of like, when you're a kid and then you watch a movie, it really affects you. It's quite interesting because I don't know, like for me, it's slightly different because I watched The Exorcist when I was like 6. Thanks to my brother.
Awesome.
Well done,
Awesome.
yeah.
Long story short, I think a few people have heard the story before, but the long story short of it is he told me it's like Terminator. It's not.
If he means a classic, yes.
Fair enough. Maybe that's why
Good job,
maybe
yeah.
that's exactly what he meant.
Yeah.
Could the Terminator scale the balls? Maybe. Yeah, could
Can
be.
he haunt you for
He
like...
could turn his head.
Yeah, for the longest time, like it was I couldn't rewatch it again for the longest time. I mean, for obvious reasons, it's a freaky show. So like,
Yeah.
naturally you're just
Yeah.
like, I don't want to go back to that. But then I think I was in my late teens, early 20s when I watched it again for the first time since I was a kid. And still freaky, slightly less freaky. And I think I've seen it only once again since then. And the freakiness level goes down. Still a great movie, but less frightened. And I think a lot of that also has to do with the fact that The Exorcist is very tied into like religion. And for me it's I have my own relationship with religion, so it kind of goes up and down from there. So it's just like our relationship with horror movies is just like super complicated.
Yeah, I wish I could watch that first film again because I remember at the end of the film, my mom saying like in Chinese, 那你会好看这样? Like the ending, she wasn't happy with it and she think it wasn't scary, and I was like shaking in my bed, like going, oh, no. So I wish I could, but I think it's such a like underground show that it was some random on TV at that time.
Yeah, you can't find
I
movies
can't
like
find
this,
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's Chinese. I couldn't,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean let's address some comments.
Oh, yes.
Can.
We have a lot of comments. By the way, thank you for the viewing in. And now we are at number 13, which is our lucky number because today is also the 13th.
We're number 13.
Yeah, 13. We'll be doing data is on every 13th of each month at 9 p.m.
You never read, right? I told you.
Of course I read.
Yeah,
Just
already.
testing you only lah.
Come on,
Testing you. Oh, by the way, sorry.
Go ahead.
Just a side thing lah.
Yeah.
On the way up here, like in the building, right? Do you notice that in the lift,
Yeah.
right? All the buttons were actually like grayed out. There was only one button that is left white.
Which is?
13.
Oh.
You just later go and see in the lift, right? All the numbers are grayed out except for one number. 13.
Okay, I know where we're going later.
Just a fun fact, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, sorry. What do you mean we?
Okay, so let's not review the building name. Okay. So anyway, our friend Lost in Malaysia, he says that if there's a clothing store for ghosts, right, would it be just bloody white cloths?
Bloody white house. I mean, they like.
Hard to say lah, because some of them die of burning, some of them die of suicide. Like,
To be fair, I think they get the clothes white first. The blood comes later.
yeah.
If not, like every design is going to be exactly the same.
Exactly.
Bloody white.
Or maybe
They,
they
yeah,
like-
they don't bring you bloody white.
maybe you just buy white clothing, then you go to one area and they just splash you, and that's your design.
Could be.
Maybe,
could
maybe,
be. At
maybe
least
it's
then-
like some monster universe thing lah.
yeah, maybe at least it's a unique design as opposed to everybody gets the exact
Yeah.
same bloody
What?
bloody.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
not
this
bloody.
this scenario where ghosts like go shopping? Hey, what clothes should we wear to get it? Bloody white or like green or like brown? They try on the
I mean, like,
size.
it's sort of like Monsters Inc. But
Hantu Ing lah, Hantu Ing. Yeah. So more comments.
You will Chanel those spirits.
Okay, so I think the rules has been going long, a very long while.
I cannot lie. I've been trying not to laugh, guys. I really been trying.
Just, I'm gonna on your mic.
Oh my god, finally. Can you actually hear me now?
I don't know
Where you come from? Can you hear? Oh my god. This feels like I'm like fading out of existence and now I'm brought back to life.
So Ivan, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, so I'm one of the hosts in the Drunken Ramblings podcast. I'm like the alcoholic So I'm on my third or fourth can of beer now. So problem with our podcast, if we drink too much alcohol, we start rambling on like this. It's not very coherent.
I think it's only you, lah, bro.
Also, someone thought it was a good idea, like, hey, let's put this guy at the back seat drinking beer and then like ignore him for the past half
and
an
then
hour.
getting bored and he's just drinking more and more.
Then I really want to talk about fishing, but then like I didn't get the chance.
How's your florist business though?
I'm not even a florist. Oh my god.
But I thought you would have to put flowers on things.
Hey. What's that? I don't know. You must know a lot about it.
So what about fishing?
Yeah, let's talk about
let's go
fishing.
back to fishing.
Let's go back to fishing.
No, it's because I knew a lot of incidents like in the past year or so where like a seasoned fisherman would just get pulled into or fell into the water and just get dragged away, and then actual incident and he actually lost his life.
Huh.
Yeah, or like
Was it in Singapore?
yeah, Singapore. So that's what I wanted to share. But this is like we were going back a few topics ago already.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, so
but let's
really
not, I mean, disclaimer, let's not like bring names lah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
there's incidents that happen, actual incidents that happen at sea, like the ocean is really something it should be feared.
So set some context. You fish, right?
Yeah.
Do you still fish?
Yep, as you do.
Try not to fish too much.
Wow.
You know what I'm talking
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Set him up.
Yeah, why would you do that? I want to enjoy my hobby.
No. It's not that. Like
doing stuff like this.
because if you're serious about fishing, you fish at night.
Yeah,
And
that's
when you
right.
fish at night,
The bigger fish appears at night.
exactly.
Yeah,
And
the bigger
okay.
fish appears at night.
that like
More
we
stuff
said, like
appear at
there's
night.
things that in the
Oh, yeah.
sea that we cannot. Yeah. Like I always have this fear. Like if I fish, I might fish up an arm, a
Ah,
half-eaten arm. Then it becomes a whole thing, right? So, and one of the things is like I believe in eating what you catch. So I stop eating what I catch because out there are too small. So I feel a bit like I don't want to just kill for the sake of killing lah. You know what I mean?
right.
So I stop. I mean, I'm sure you have your own personal reasons lah. But yeah, just be careful, man.
No, but interesting though. I mean, like you never know what you pull up.
Exactly.
So, one of my previous fishing experience, we actually had to save someone from drowning, and
Oh,
if
wow.
we weren't there, I think the lady probably would have lost her life.
It's a real person.
How
Yeah,
did
how
how did they get
Yeah,
there?
how did she get there?
So they were canoeing. Then I think the lady had seizure. Then her friend came to help her, but she couldn't keep the lady above water because she was purely dead weight.
Oh, capsized and
Yeah, capsized. Both of them were in the water already. The lady had seizure and she did not have life jacket or anything.
yeah. Yeah, no, but canoeists, those that are more seasoned, they don't like to wear life vests.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I
you were
mean,
quite far out in the sea already, is it?
when you saw them struggling, we just uplined and just went over.
Oh man.
But yeah, a lot of deaths happen in the sea. It's very easy to.
It's super
survive.
common.
Yeah.
Yeah, slight tangent. My friend who used to be in the Navy, he says that they see a lot of coffins in the sea.
Oh, really?
And when they are like patrolling near the open waters, right? Sometimes the coffins. I'm not sure how true this is. Maybe he's just trying to scare me. So please do not sue us, MINDEF. Apparently, because like the jurisdiction is international water, sometimes right, they use the ship to push the coffin out because it's not from Singapore. It's outwards. It's gonna float into Singapore. It's a jurisdiction ship.
Yeah.
So they push it outwards. So that's kind of Then they say they see this very often, like dead bodies see very often, and even more tangent, right? I was working on a behind the scenes for another filmmaker a couple of years back. So there's this organization, right? I forgot the name already. So this guy, she's shooting a documentary about this guy who lives in Pulau Ubin, who specializes in finding dead bodies. So people who drown in the sea. So it's like his NGO mission to do that. That's his life.
In Ubin.
Yeah, in Ubin. Yeah. So you search, you can find the guy lah. So that I went to his house in Ubin. Then it's quite creepy. He's just very casually. Oh yeah, there was the well, right? Got someone drowned inside. It fell and drowned inside and died. Then I'm like,
So people call him when they see a dead body, or he actively go and find
he
this?
actively dives for dead bodies.
Oh wow.
It's like it feels like it's calling lah. Yeah. So I
Let's go
kind
Ubin
of
and find
regret. I kind of regret that I didn't stay on longer for the BTS because at that point I was still quite scared lah, because it's 7 months and at that during that shoot 7 months and Pulau Ubin don't mix well. So I left early.
Well, but respect to the guy though, he's like doing a good service.
He's
He's
doing
finding
a
the
good
bodies,
service.
giving them
Yeah.
a proper burial. Also,
Exactly, like
it's good service.
yeah. So like to back to your whole thing lah. Like a lot of bad things happen in sea lah.
Yeah lah, why you still go?
My love for fishing overcomes all fears.
I can respect that.
Fair enough.
I can respect that. So what's the largest KBL that you have landed?
Like, if y'all can see like that.
KBL is a short form for Kim Bak Law.
Oh, okay.
He don't know lah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What's Kim
No,
Bak?
a bit, that one a bit hard.
It's a fish.
Sea bass.
Yeah,
Sea
sea
bass.
bass.
I say a bit softer because I just wanted to check with you on the side, so I don't appear so soft. But yeah, sea bass a bit hard to catch, but very nice to eat.
Slight tangent, not really ghost related, but more towards the supernatural. What would you do if you actually saw a mermaid out in sea? Like,
I'll
okay,
probably get a photo.
very, very pretty
Oh man.
mermaid, fishtail. And what you do?
I'd freak out.
Oh,
I'd freak out. Because like the old...
yeah, the old
I don't
songs
know what you're thinking at this point in time.
I mean, there are people who have sworn that they saw mermaids before.
Wait, aren't you curious?
What? Okay.
The first thing I'll look down.
I knew it.
But the
And
stories
anatomy
behind
what?
mermaids, I
Yeah.
think I'm on the path
Up.
with you.
Yeah,
It's that
exactly.
It's the
Sirens
horror.
lah.
Yeah, it's
Sirens
sirens.
lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will pull you in and they change.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
And pop culture depict them pretty well. Harry Potter,
Yeah.
I think Pirates of the Caribbean. So I
There's a
imagine more
series
of
on Disney also.
mermaids.
Shows them quite fierce.
And the Japanese thing, I'm
Yeah,
not sure
like-
whether it's real.
like
There's
they'll-
this Japanese.
They'll
half
eat
mermaid.
people and stuff.
So Ivan,
I can't tell
Check it
what
out.
you should ask him.
Maybe that's why I like fishing so much, right? Like
You're looking
you're nasty.
yeah.
looking for a mermaid.
Everything comes back to finding a mate for you.
There are much easier ways. Far more compatible ways as well.
Yeah, I think yeah, I'll probably like take a photo, then I'll look down. I'll have a conversation with it, but I won't let it get close to me. I'll stay very near land. I'm like, no.
But you actually will approach it.
No, I will talk to it lah. Probably with like a loudspeaker or something.
So you won't avoid it, like you know what you see. In
Yo,
the,
mermaid!
I won't. I'll like, oh, you want to talk? You come climb up. I prefer, I have an advantage.
okay.
Apparently the whole like the I don't know how this happened, but apparently manatees are the physical
Supposed mermaids.
the
Yeah.
supposed mermaids.
Oh,
are.
for
That's-
those.
that's how people got the
So
idea.
what's a manatee? For those who don't know, manatees.
A chunky seal.
Yeah, the best way to describe them is, I've heard this before, that the best way to describe them is sea cow.
Seagull.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the scientific name, right?
Well, yeah.
Sort
I
of.
don't think it's the scientific
No?
name, but it's a
No,
very
I'm
accurate
not
way
sure whether it's but
to describe them. Sea cow, basically. But
Yeah.
Since we're going back and forth in the conversation, I completely went off in terms of the questions.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
So let's address some more comments.
Yeah.
So now that we have reviewed our ghost,
Yes.
ghost,
He's real.
he's real. He's real.
alive.
Okay.
I'm real
like
now.
a real boy.
Yeah.
But if you need flowers, just give him a call.
If you need flowers, you can contact this real boy.
He's a florist that like to fish.
I will say throughout the whole first what was it, 15 minutes that we were talking
Yeah.
without acknowledging
Yep.
you, I kept wanting to turn around and just laugh.
Dude, I almost broke because of you.
I literally to look at him.
I was just chilling because I was just looking at him from the camera. So I'm like, yes. So Wesley says, hi Kyle, hi Wayne, hi Wesley.
Hi, Wesley.
Thanks for the support. Okay.
Never say hi to us, yeah.
Not John.
It's our friend,
Yeah.
lah. It's our friend.
I say hi to you, okay? Hi.
Well, if you all had said hi to him first, maybe he would have said hi to y'all.
Our listeners, one of our loyal listeners, Dennis, Eric Osan, thank you. He says good evening to all. So address to
Hello.
everyone.
What's up?
Hey.
Including
Hello.
Ivan.
Yes, I'm recognized now.
So there's two questions that they're asking every one of you. Question 1. Why are ghosts always females?
Oh, you good question.
Not entirely true, right?
A lot of the time.
We
Most of
spoke
the
about
time.
this before, actually.
We have,
Yeah.
actually.
There was this joke lah, right? There was this joke by a comedian.
Which comedian was it?
Local comedian.
Oh, I
Local only got 3. Yeah.
Well, okay,
That's a joke. Give me a call.
I refuse to acknowledge that comment except for
Uh,
what was the joke?
basically the local comedian, I forgot his name. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. He said that you know why there's no it's a joke, okay? It's a joke. Don't cancel me. It's a joke, okay? Why there's no ghosts, no male ghosts, because men tend to let go.
Wow.
Yep. And then like and men are so dumb, right? And this is me taking from his joke lah.
Yeah,
Men
okay.
are so dumb that if we see a ghost and we are ghosts, we're like, oh macam bro, you can fly right? But I'm like, actually that makes sense.
What is disturbing is that I know people who are like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like that. If I become a ghost, I will come and find you and I'll say, hey bro, I can fly like bro.
Yeah, it's different if you came and look for me.
No, I look for you there. I'll tell you, hey, this one cheap, bro. I tell you what happens after life. You prepare first. Prepare. Do your homework first. Then I'll start a consulting business. What to do after life.
I like how it's become an ongoing thing where people talk about how like we're going to end up haunting each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, that's a good question though. Like when you think about it, in movies, it's always painted as a female.
Yeah.
I mean, only Jack Neo movies, then you see like male ghosts.
And
like
it's
in
usually an
NS.
old uncle.
Yeah, but like I think there's another way. I think we had this conversation. There's another way, right?
Yeah.
Where we framed it is because men are usually the one that kills.
Yeah.
The victims are the females. Men are the one that let the female down. So if you think about it,
Especially in history.
like
Oh, yeah.
suicides, right? Female, you know the usual, the female girl, then she jump down,
Yeah.
then become ghost because of the husband cheat on her, beat her or something, or murder her. Right? Makes sense, what? So I think it is kind of like this Vice article that was talking about like the Miss P, right, being a female feminist ghost that you know fights back for women's right. I think that is kind of true to some sense because men are evil things. Actually, you should be more afraid of humans rather than like because the supernatural is just the byproduct of what was alive, what, right?
Yeah. I mean, I had not the in-story version of it, but like my theory behind it is that you have all these supernatural creatures and all these spirits and all that, and they're all women, because the most stereotypically and unfortunately, like, you know, the stereotype that women are always going to be the nurturing of the two genders. You know, it's an unfair stereotype it's a blanket stereotype that's based on all women, and it's an unfair stereotype. But if you look at that stereotype and then you flip it on its head, if the most nurturing, most comforting thing is a woman, imagine how much more terrifying it is when the woman is the one that's trying to kill you. So you take the idea of the whole nurturing figure and you flip it on its head.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah. He actually said that. Then I was like, actually, that makes a lot of
It
sense.
does make a lot of sense.
It does make, and it's scary. Like, you don't really see like females being super scared of Miss P. Actually, it's more men, because you know why he twists your scrotum, you pull it out, she will just eat it or something.
Is that
right?
a standard way of
Chewy,
killing?
yeah.
I think, I mean,
Plus, men wrote all the stories.
yeah.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Then on this, right, what makes a ghost? Right, is it very strong negative emotions?
I was going to say
regret?
death.
Like, okay, if it's
For one,
females,
right?
like, is it always only grudge or like regret or always negative emotions? That's what creates a spirit. What creates a ghost?
I think there's a whole bunch of, like, I think it kind of depends on who you're asking also lah. So for us, I mean, like for Southeast Asians in general, I think it's always been the whole, or broadly speaking, it's the vengeful,
Yeah.
Wrongful
That's
death.
how
yeah,
it's
wrongful
known.
deaths,
Yeah.
vengeance and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So it's unsettled business in life. So I think that's what makes the ghost. But I think it's a whole bunch of other stuff lah. Like
Mostly energy lah. I would say like mostly negative energy, like you mentioned, right? I think energy is very. I think it's for people who believe in it, right? They say that even after death, we still have a source of energy, and that energy will convert into good or bad. Depends on how you were in life, right? So like for those who have religion, the good ones you go out to heaven, the bad ones then you go to hell lah. So I think it's a little bit of that.
But we only see the bad ones here though. Is there like super good ghosts like Casper or something?
well, I mean,
Okay.
I
hear
believe-
about it,
I believe there are like in the Taoist this is what I mostly research on, right? The Taoist belief is that if a spirit has lingered more than a century, it's no longer a spirit, it's no longer a ghost. It has reached a level of attainment that it can actually help people. It becomes like a sort of like a deity kind of status, and then it's just waiting for you to go to heaven. so that it can become
Oh
like
yeah,
heavenly
they have
lah.
levels, right?
Yeah, they have levels.
It's like a guardian angel. kind
Yeah,
of thing.
but it must help a certain amount of people. There was a very
Oh.
good Hong Kong anthology series, I think 2014 or something. So it's about this ghost trying to and it has a human form. It's trying to do good deeds, and then he's counting down in the shot. And then the shot ends basically he lost it because people are treating him like shit. And then he lost it. He started eating people, and then he lost. Basically the whole thing
become
reset
that.
lah. He reset lah. Then he had to go back to from maybe from year one lah. So he has been doing for 99 years or something lah.
Wow, wasted.
So yeah. So apparently that's it lah. Yeah.
Hashtag relatable. When people treat me like crap, I also want to eat them also.
You gotta do it for
Don't we
a
all?
century.
Yeah, I know,
99
right?
years worth of work.
A century's worth of work.
And by then, like the technology is so advanced that you don't know. No, maybe his help is he needs computer help, and you don't know how to help.
Yeah.
it's like the one thing you need to go to heaven. My PC spoiled lah.
Jialat ah.
Oh no!
You fail, start from zero.
No, but that's like that's the okay. I've said this several times, and I don't know whether anybody's getting annoyed when I say it, but like my very first, I don't want to tell my very first supernatural experience because I'm specifically saving it for like the right place to tell it because it's such a personal story. But it was actually with a benevolent spirit. It was actually with someone with good intentions. So I do believe that there are, if there are ghosts out there, there are the
Good ones.
The good ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, good ghost stories don't sell as well as this vengeful spirit came back. to take
I mean, you have a good one in your place now, right?
well, ghost or ghost story?
We'll get into that. So where's Ivan? He went to the toilet, right?
Alone.
I hope he's fine because the toilet here quite notorious.
He drank too much beer.
Yeah.
I like how we're taking this whole gag in a separate direction. I was like, where did Ivan go? He was just here a minute ago.
Okay, so meanwhile,
We didn't even acknowledge the fact that he left.
we got a lot of questions. So question 2, they're asking, why always wear white and long hair? I think like, I don't know, my theory is
Fashion.
white, right, is like, like taekwondo, right, the belt. White is the lowest tier one. you started, you don't have enough equipment, then you need to earn.
Level 1 goes.
So what's
the
level
master
1? I don't know, like
Red
red
belt.
Have you ever seen I think is that ghost in black, all black?
I've not seen it, but
But black figures,
I read about
Yeah,
it.
black figures.
I read about it, like apparently, like if you see a full on, like they wear black or something, that's like the highest level you should run.
Black belt already, fine.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I was about to say,
think
so
you
it actually
probably
is like
will.
taekwondo.
You probably will
Like-
die.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I mean humans and because they don't see color, like they're colorblind, but like humans see color, so we scared. We see black. Wow, this one for power one. This one.
But how you know they colorblind?
I don't know. Maybe they are. They're like.
I was like, what?
Maybe they don't care about color. They're like, yeah, let's just get some colors and scare the hell out of humans, right?
So it is a fashion thing, lah.
I mean, it's a branding thing, lah. You think about it, like long hair, white. If you see someone long hair, white on the side of the road at like 3 a.m., you confirm know, they're calling car already. Like it's like a stereotype, right?
And also, it's always straight hair. You never see that goes with perm afro hair kind of thing.
Bit funny, A bit funny,
Or like the big 80s hair.
Yeah, I mean,
You would think that they would have the same hair from the generation, the decade
I'm
that they
sure
passed on.
some of it.
You know why? Because you're reborn.
That was a pretty good pun.
Well done.
Yeah. So I think the image, right, the mental image, right, can disagree with me with this because white hair usually that's what they dress the dead. White. Wow. I mean like white. And long hair because even after death, right, 2 things will still grow: your fingernails and your hair.
Oh.
It still grows.
Yeah,
Scientifically,
makes
this is biology. So they model it after the dead lah. So therefore ghost lah. So
Logic.
Yeah.
Logic.
Yeah, I'm going with because like there's this debate, right? Who's Ryan, who's Shane? I'm going with the like super Shane like logic roadmap. I'm not saying that I'm Shane. I'm just going.
How many questions were there about Ivan actually?
There were like at least I think 5. Like who's behind? Who's behind? Okay.
Who's that guy behind me now? What's going on the couch?
So our friend Lost in Malaysia says that he has never watched a single horror movie. He only got into horror because of grandpa stories. From his time serving in the Malayan emergency. Wow, that's super long ago. Like, thanks for his service, right? Malayan emergency was like what, the 60s, 70s?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, this is like Singapore just born only. Like, Yeah, that means he's watching like P. Ramlee stuff lah.
Yeah.
He was watching P. Ramlee stuff lah.
Well,
Wow.
well, I think what he means is it's his grandfather's stories about horror, not just horror films.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
tell us lah about some of the stories. And
Yeah.
during war brings a lot of horrors also.
Yeah.
lah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that's
I mean,
quite.
I can actually completely understand because like aside from my wonderful experience with The Exorcist, I broadly stayed away from horror for the longest time, like in terms of the movies, but it was the stories that I used to hear lah. Like friends will tell the stories about like, oh, the taxi driver will know this, or there's this and then there's that. So I'm probably more familiar with horror stories that other people have told me than with horror movies that I've seen. So that's where for me, that's where I get.
The door locks. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe we let Ivan in.
Yes.
Let me see if you message me.
Yeah, but okay, so
Yes, he did.
yeah. Okay, so that's where he is.
So poor things,
I was wondering,
We have an auto lock system. So yeah,
It's not
Geraldine.
for horror reasons.
Geraldine is laughing at the fact that your brother said that it's exactly like Terminator. We need to get your brother on the show.
No, absolutely
I
not.
want to ask him like which aspect, like okay, some logic, like which aspect of Terminator and Exorcist.
No,
cross.
here's why. Here's why. Because my brother refuses to acknowledge the fact that this is what happened. He was like, I don't know what happened.
Your brother has never ever come on the podcast before.
No.
No. Yeah. But I think that you see that if you put technology and horror together, right, they don't mix. They really don't. Like the only time where they mix is what Ghostbusters, right?
Yeah.
But like if you're talking about like imagine you wear an Iron Man suit and you fly all the way to the cemetery and then you see a Miss P and you say, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm in Iron Man suit. What are you gonna do?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Scratch me, or you're basically Wolverine. Right? Then you got like claws and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like your
I
body.
see where you're coming from.
Things like that, right? It doesn't make sense. So I always have this like weird thing like, so what if we reach peak technology advance? I'm talking about like Iron Man arc reactor, right? You can like just walk around with like the arc reactor, and you can generate energy at so much energy at such a small scale. Like we don't even there's no need for like human labor already. So what can they do to us?
But what if the ghosts also level up? What if the ghosts also come in Iron Man's costume?
Wow, then they want
I'll be impressed. I'll be impressed.
They got on with the times, adapt. Like.
Yeah.
I mean, when the AI take over, it could technically all be ghosts.
True, Terminator long. Nah,
Yeah.
your brother was right.
Hey,
Don't say stuff like that. Now you're just encouraging them. No. Don't say stuff like that.
So your friend, I believe this is a friend, right? Leonora.
oh
Yeah.
Is that how I pronounce her name?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, she says hello.
No.
Yeah.
Carl,
Hi.
this is-
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
And then
Hello.
and Dennis was like, our listener Dennis was like, wouldn't it be cool if the guy at the back was actually a ghost? I'm so sorry, man.
Actually, maybe
I mean, that was the point, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not. You never know.
Wow. Yeah. So he's like Lost in Malaysia. Like, no lah, he drinking beer. He must be a funky ghost.
Chill.
Hey,
Yeah, if
even
you
as a
see-
ghost, you keep your habits, right?
You know, like okay, if you were
So what's yours? The thirsty ghost man, not hungry ghost
A
man.
drunken ghost.
imagine you walk at night, right? Then you walk past a kopitiam, you see a bunch of spirits down there drinking beer. But they are in their full like scary stuff, right? But they drinking beer.
But they're just chilling.
They're just chilling, bro. Hey, I tell you that time I scared this guy, right? I scared him, he almost died, you know. Wow.
To
I
be
think
honest,
that was like my greatest scare in my entire career.
Between this and the Iron Man thing, right? I feel like you're hinting at me to the kind of stories that you want me to tell for future episodes.
No,
of
it's just the
Postmaps.
things that go into my mind, and now like, actually, it's quite interesting. Why exactly like goes to what they said, right? Why does it have to always be like super scary and like super? Why can't it just be like normal every day? Like you see a kopitiam, then what would you do?
And guys, like, guess what they're drinking, you know? Drinking spirits.
Wow.
The joke you gave to us last time.
That's why I'm laughing so hard because it's my joke.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So yeah lah.
I liked it better when we thought he was invisible.
It's okay, man. It's okay. Yeah. So, as I was saying, right, like, we had when we were doing our short film, which will be released soon.
Yeah.
We had a full-on an actress who was in full Miss P makeup. And this is in between, and you can see obviously from the road right beside our set, it's obviously a film shoot, right?
Okay.
Then she's in full makeup, FX. That's so she really look like Miss P, but she's smoking at the smoking corner, right?
Chill.
Like if you saw that, right, I would probably not freak out. I'll be like, this Miss P, good citizen, you know.
Actually, I just think it's a golf cosplay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
okay, wait, Miss P makeup. That means how does she do her face?
So we got a FX makeup artist.
So like black eye ring or those things.
or like full grey face and nails and.
They don't have
long
like
hair.
bloody things crying or.
Depends on like the scene lah. Yeah, depends on. Yeah, I mean it really sees. You must have the context lah.
Okay.
Like, but generally this is
Miss
what
P
we
makeup, what did she use? Fenty like this.
Wow.
Chill Miss P. Oh, okay.
So yeah lah. So your friend Leonora is actually asking, as teenagers, did you ever go ghost hunting with your friend
Oh.
at Old Changi Hospital or walk in the cemetery in the middle?
Yeah.
Red House.
I'm not
He's
gonna
yes,
talk
but
anymore.
I want to hear your.
I talk too much. Yeah. So please.
You did.
Yeah.
Because you
Teenagers.
went Red House immediately.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if you guys ever did this, but in poly or something, I was in poly lah. Then last time I always have chalet, must stay over in
Yeah.
chalet. It was always the guy thing or the group thing lah. Let's go Red House and chill and like just go and see what's going on. So for those who don't know, Red House also don't know it's Red House now. It's like some far ulu part, isolated part. It's a very very badly vandalized house that is supposedly haunted.
Except
Yeah.
Pasir Ris.
Pasir
Near
Ris,
Loyang.
Pasir Ris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I still remember very vaguely, a bunch of us, we cycled to this place in the middle of the night, late of the night. And to actually get into the house, actually there was a gate. So we have to actually climb over the gate. So when we climbed over the gate, we were expecting like some spooky stuff and anything, but nothing happened lah, honestly. Like
So how many were you-
there was no climax to this story lah. I mean, we only go inside and see like, oh, Tom loves Jerry, all this
Yeah.
vandalism.
And then you make out
a
lah.
lot of with 7 boys one all over the place.
So how many 7 of you?
7 of us.
How long did you guys stay?
I mean, we were there for 15 to 20 minutes.
Did you guys actually go inside?
We did. We
so
went
the whole
inside.
round lah.
Oh, you'll be surprised how vandalized the place is. Even the ceiling, all other way high up. I don't know if they take a ladder there and then they write stuff on there,
It
but
is.
everything is all
It
vandalized.
is. So okay, so for our non-Singaporean friends, right, Red House is actually one of the most notorious places, like a place for you to test your courage with your dumb friends when you are a dumb teenager, right?
No offense to your friends.
I did it too. So supposedly, right, it is one of the most haunted areas, and it's near. It's an old colonial house, near a very nice area in Singapore where there's known to have chalets and nice beaches. Nice. So yeah, so many years there's been stories going on that there's like a decapitated woman inside, there's like a lot of spirits, and then there's 2 like huge stone Chinese lions outside, right? Apparently you're supposed to offer them cigarettes for blessing, if not you get possessed. And there's a lot of cases where people get possessed and I have friends who actually got possessed when they went there those who are more like spiritually inclined. So that's the
Wait,
context.
hang on. Cigarettes.
Yeah.
As in cigarettes.
Yeah Morocco yeah. I don't know it does not make sense
So
but
do you go to like lines that you ice your honky mai?
probably yeah. So any
That's all for me. I mean, I only went Red House, but I do have some other stories I can share later.
Mine is I was in Scouts when I was in secondary school. And we had that confidence thing that they made us.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I think I was 13 years old, Sec 1, and then we went for a camp, and I didn't know what was planned. I think the first night they made us do a night walk in the school. School's pretty haunted all the time. Or you always feel creepy. No idea why. And I didn't have it wasn't my school. It was a partner kind of school. We had a few schools together and we joined. And then we went there and then it was kind of creepy. But the one that really takes the cake was one of the nights they say we're going on an excursion, guys. Really fun. And then I thought they were joking, but a bus just came and picked us all up. And we went to the cemetery opposite Marichi. The one opposite Marichi, I always see that cemetery there. And then they parked there and thought they were just going to stop there and go back. But no, we all got off. The bus turned off its light and we did 2 activities there. One is being the night walk and the other one being a group, like a group activity. So the night walk, right, was the one that I started with. And this was, it was terrifying for me. I wanted to like call it quits. I don't care being a scout. Let me get out. But everyone did it. Everyone quietly one by one went in. So they give us some instructions. Mainly when you turn around, you turn with your whole body. Don't know about something about the lights. And then we have the scarf. That's the only clothing we have. No phones, no torchlight, no nothing. We only have the scarf. Moonlight is our light.
Wait, you said no other clothing except for the
Nicolez.
scarf.
I was like, what
no
the
other,
hell are you?
no other
exactly,
PPE
bro?
clothing. Okay, the
Okay,
t-shirt,
okay.
shorts, and
Okay.
Wait, so you guys went alone, one by one, or like as a group?
Okay, so the night walk we all gathered first, and then we went one by one.
Was there like a destination?
The other side of that forested graves, there's a path.
Like,
Yeah.
how long was the walk?
I cannot remember now, but it felt like an eternity.
I imagine.
Was the cemetery Bukit Brown Cemetery?
I don't know the name. I have no
They
information.
have like super huge
Yeah,
metal
the
gates.
gate. Yeah, that gate.
Bukit Brown Cemetery. So for our non-Singaporean friends, Bukit Brown Cemetery is one of the most haunted cemeteries in Singapore.
Very nice.
Period. Like most haunted. A lot of so there's this historical group which I'm also in. It's called the Brownies. So they are actually
The Brownies.
They nice name, right? So they really treasure the history there because the cemetery is very old. It's like century old. Cemetery is pre-World War II cemeteries where like when the initial Chinese people came into Southeast Asia and settled in Singapore. So a lot of them they are rich merchants. They built massive huge tombs for their like descendants and stuff lah. So some of them are buried there. So some of the founding merchants of Singapore are buried there. But for some reason, right, apparently it's super haunted. There's a lot of mispeace over there because that particular area and the whole area is in the forest is huge. So part of it is gone already because of they built a highway through it, but it's still there lah. So yeah, so when was this?
Now that you give me this context, I'm
No, I get it, but when
You
was
should
this?
be quite proud of yourself as a scout.
Well, I
Early
was
2000s?
13, so early 2000s. Yeah,
Early 2000.
yeah.
Okay lah, early 2000.
You come back
Still not so work, right?
20 years.
Yeah, so not so work lah. Singapore still not so work. So we
yeah.
can do like weird stuff. I'm pretty sure you can't do this
No,
kind of thing
definitely.
anymore. 'Cause
No
it's
way.
very dangerous.
Yeah, I have no idea why.
What happens
why?
if someone gets possessed?
Or no, I mean,
School
I didn't even
section,
think to that far. I was, what if somebody gets lost? It was in the dark. Okay, they gave us instructions. Like, if you get lost, squat down and shout. If you run, we only can find you in the morning. Yeah, so
I think it's a scare lah.
it's a scare. I mean,
I think it's a scare tactic lah.
no, they
Right in
want
the
us to
morning.
run in because they had to find us in the forest. If we panic and run, and then they say if we have torchlight, don't flash up. I mean, there's standard stuff. Look down on the ground, things like this, and then the scarf will protect you because it's covered by the 4 major religions. Or it had the Singapore crest and stuff.
Is it?
Yeah. The scarf have the woggle has the crest and the,
crest,
bag as well have the
yeah,
crest. So yeah, and then don't call people's names. Don't use names. And don't when you hear your name being called, don't turn.
So one by one, like you guys.
Yeah, so we gathered there. One by one, they went in. And then when it was my turn, I said, I cannot do it. I'm scared. But they convinced me eventually.
So you went in.
Eventually, I went in.
So did anything happen?
Okay, so I only found this out after, like way after. Like the next morning, that kind of after. I went in, there was the path. So I thought at first it was this wooden steps or no,
Right.
not wooden steps, but wooden planks, so you can feel like clock. Okay, say it's not so bad if it's all the way like this. Then eventually it turns into a grass patch, and the path is not very like it's recognizable but not very recognizable, that kind of thing. So I started to freak out a bit, but I said, okay, keep your eyes down and just follow the path. That's what you need to do. So as you walk past some of the graves, but I try to ignore them. But my peripheral vision, right, I keep seeing like the trees, and then I'm not sure whether it's me. I just tell myself it's me, but like white shadows at the side of the trees. But obviously, I just tell myself, nah, it must be, it's
You
dark.
don't know, right?
You don't know, right?
Yeah.
So just keep walking. Don't look up. Just walk. No sound on your steps. So apparently, when you walk, there are some of the guides that are there, and they are like stationed at certain turns. Okay,
Right.
You're supposed to meet 2. The scary part for me was I met 3. So I think either they missed out or I saw too much. So that is.
But
one
they're
of the-
wearing the.
So they're all wearing
uniform.
ponchos.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not the.
Is it
uniform.
raining?
It was not raining, but they're all wearing ponchos.
Why?
I have no idea.
To make it worse,
I don't know. But it was the army ground sheet poncho.
Yeah.
The head. So you cannot really see the hoods were up and everything.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
the one that I when I was talking to my friend the next day in the morning, like he told me that the extra one I saw, or the one that I figured was extra, was the guy that told me to go straight. Which again, when I think back, why would somebody tell me? He didn't say go like. I stopped because I noticed the guy with the poncho,
Yeah.
and I asked for the direction, which was kind of stupid at the moment because it was a straight line. They say, like he just gestured, he didn't really say anything. And then I walked up, but my friend told me there was no middle person. So yeah,
So it's a weird kind of doppelganger lah.
I think
At least he pointed in the right direction.
At least
Well,
it pointed
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and that another thing that I learned also in the path was, because I don't remember exactly, but they told us that at one point of the path, which I don't remember doing, but apparently this is what's supposed to happen, is you're supposed to take a side step down. There's this path that goes to the side, right? And the main point of this near the end is when you go to the side, next to you will be like 3 graves, so it will be like really close. Apparently the step to the side is like a step down, and not everybody noticed it, so a lot of them stepped on top.
Of the grave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay, that's what I was told by my friend was supposed to do that. But when you're walking there, you just focus on ground, you don't see anything.
Yeah.
So we don't know. I don't know whether I stepped, I don't know whether we didn't step,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Yeah. So that was the first activity. The second one wasn't that bad because we're in a group. So what they did was they hide like a light stick filters, fillers, those
Right,
small one like for fishing.
Yeah.
And then they hide it within the graves. Yeah.
So
They-
disrespectful.
Yeah, I know,
man.
right? But
Yeah,
they
it's
hide
like-
it and we're supposed to retrieve it, and like we all tried to siam, but they were pointing us to go. And then like some of them, the dragon, the lion that in front of the grave, and they put in the mouth, they put in the the lamb, all this, ask us
Yeah.
to come and take and collect lah. Basically, that was what we're supposed to do. And then like I said about the lady pushing the cart thing, right? Like there was another family there, just a group. We didn't speak to them.
What?
Just hanging out there.
Hang on, what time was this?
Oh, way past midnight
In the cemetery.
in the
Did
cemetery.
everybody saw the family though?
Yeah. The one
Humans lah, probably humans,
humans.
right?
I should be.
No lah, probably they go there pray lah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cool, but
Fair
there
enough,
are
fair
people
enough.
who actually
Yeah,
go to
yeah,
cemeteries at midnight.
Yeah, so I don't think it was
Yeah,
strange. Yeah, but the rest, yeah, it was an experience.
I mean,
then that night they made us go back to the school, right? And then we were sleep. They call it the solo sleep. Right? Everybody sleep in a classroom, alone. One classroom or two people,
Hardcore,
one
sia.
classroom. Then I'm like, wow.
This is hard.
Then I'm like, I sleep at one end and the other end is like my buddy, right? And then he wanted to go toilet in the middle of the night, so I couldn't sleep and I was looking at him because I'm scared, right?
Yeah.
And then I see him suddenly getting up and walking towards me, and I like the first thing flash was like horror movie, guys. This is where I die. Yeah.
I presume you didn't get much sleep lah.
No. Yeah.
So do you feel brave after that?
No. Why?
I
Why?
wouldn't.
But at least you got a badge lah.
There's no badge for this.
No badge for this?
It's just a
It's
confidence.
just like a ghost figure in the bench.
So wait, so did they actually burn any incense?
I don't know. If they did, they didn't show us.
So when you reach there, right? I mean, I'm trying to set some context. So when you reach there, there were people already there lah, like your seniors.
No, we went in the same.
So they set up first, then you all go.
I think there's advance party. I think so.
Okay, so
Yeah.
because right, the reason I asked for this is because when you plan this kind of thing, I have some friends who actually work for camps and stuff. They say there's always advance parties, and usually the advance party they will ask for permission, and then they will
They go
pray.
in. Okay.
They will burn because
Alright.
you don't go to a cemetery, someone's resting place, and then you start putting like things
Disturbing thing.
in
Ah.
there.
Yeah.
It does not work that way lah.
So I said that I went there when I was 13. I think 2 or 3 years later, we run our own show, and we were seniors this time around. So I realized what's worse than participating in that is being the organizers, because it's way worse. So what happened is much better when I was 13. The seniors did it solo, meaning when they're in the forest they were one by one. But now we do in pairs. So the points where they're supposed to ask you to turn, right? We will have to go in and sit there and wait for our one by one the juniors, which I swear is worse than walking, because you do it once, but you have to count. Counting is terrifying, and then observing whatever is going on while the interval while they're walking in is creepy. Yeah.
It's insane that this was a school
Exactly.
section.
That was
It's
my
school.
exact
That's
thought.
No, but it's hardcore lah. Like, I mean, like pretty much the same age, right?
Yeah.
The school camps very hardcore one. At that point, I cannot imagine those that were in the 90s and the 80s.
Yeah, it's and mine was like for this cemetery, which was now I found out pretty haunted, quite scary already, right? And then I had another friend from Cadet Scout, and he went on to be secondary school. Also went to Scouts, and his one was like, he tell us his story. His senior story is like they go to Lim Chu Kang, they assign them a grave each. They have to memorize the picture, the number, memorize everything,
It's
and
a
they will
game.
test them the
It's a
next
game.
day. Yeah,
It's a game.
and it's like to test your bravery and everything. And I say that then he posed a question to our friends: would you rather have a night walk in Lim Chu Kang, or would you rather have it in the forest? Because they have both pro and cons. The pro in Lim Chu Kang is like it's open, right? And the con is that it's like it's quite messy, you know.
Yeah.
But then for the forest one is you can't see anything, and then you don't know what's behind every tree, every grave. It's kind of like that. So my conclusion was no, don't participate. This is so scary.
That is a good question. The forest or cemetery?
Cemetery. Because if it's between Lim Chu Kang and a forest, right, I will probably choose Lim Chu Kang because Lim Chu Kang is the largest cemetery in Singapore, and there are people staying in there. There's like people who take care of. I will just go and find a guy and just chill with him and feed the dogs or something. There's dogs also, right? There's
the dogs.
But the cemeteries is like in Singapore, they are the modern ones they are built in a very very efficient way,
organized.
So it's quite you can see everything.
Yeah.
But forest, right? Whoa, it's nature. There might be a hole that you might drop in it, and then they can't find you. You probably die. So
I do like, by the way, that since we were talking about like what your experiences were, we completely skipped over Ivan.
No. He came back. So wait. I really love your story. I want to turn it into a Ghost Map episode. So guys, you see, this is how we do Ghost Maps. Shall we do it? Okay, let's do it. Okay, good.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so Ivan, any ghost hunting experiences?
Yeah, so last time I met you guys, you were telling me how the toilet is a bit haunted, that you have experiences there. Just now I went toilet, that's why I was a bit locked out. But in the toilet, like, I was telling myself, okay, there's nothing. Okay, imagine wholesome things. And the lights start flickering. Like, flickered once and flickered twice. I'm like, okay, more wholesome things. Like, all wholesome, my friends, family. That's my most recent experience, guys.
Wait. We're talking about ghost hunting, not ghost experiences.
I felt like the ghosts were hunting me instead.
Okay.
To be fair, it is somewhat traumatizing for him.
Wait,
So the last time you were here was during the day, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
it
we
wasn't
did
so
a shot,
bad.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The flickering at night thing, that's
Yeah.
it gets to me too.
I hope it's just the fluorescent light.
No, it's I think it's the lights are.
Okay,
It's
that's good.
just the
That's
lights. It's just the lights.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good
Yeah.
to know.
But
Yeah.
see, that's the thing. Even knowing that, and even having been here like numerous times and having to use the washroom and everything, right? Every time it flickers, right? And if I have to use the urinal, I'll position myself so that like I can at least see, and I'm not like my back is turned to the light, so I'll be like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like my back face, so I don't see anything. Don't see anything.
isn't that
Don't
worse?
see anything.
Because then it comes after you and you don't know what's going on.
Debatable.
Yeah.
But the whole like when going back to his story, right? The whole like when you turn your whole body, right?
Yep.
In Taoist tradition. Not trying to spread the religion. This is what based on what I research and what I know. Because there's 3 pairs of fire within you, like
Right.
yin and yang energy, right?
Yeah.
So when you turn just your head, right, your energy on top got snuffed out. But when you turn as a whole, you get 3 energy. It's harder to block. It's like a natural repellent for spirits and bad energy, lah. So I think maybe facing it like a proper way might be better. I don't know.
Right. Okay.
Slight tangent. Funny. Okay, lah. Quite scary, but funny story. So I have neighbors who are production houses, right? So I messed with them one time. I messed with one of them. So we always stay late, sometimes to work together, right? And like I think it was like 1 a.m. And then I hide behind one of the main doors, right? You know the door when you come in from the lift, right? And I scare him. And he was quite pissed off because he got really scared because it's at night and this place is, you know, like there's a
Nobody else here also.
yeah,
There's
nobody
a
else.
vibe.
It's just the two of us,
my
these two companies, and they are very, it's creepy lah. So he got pretty scared, and he wanted revenge. So he got his revenge. with everyone that's in the office. So like there were like 4 people in it. So I went to the toilet to take a dump, right? And this was like 2 a.m. And I already kena the experience from last time because 7 months I got one experience lah. So I was a bit creeped out, but I was like, yeah, this is not my office, so I'm cool lah, right? Then I was just like using my phone, and then suddenly, right, when you switch off the lights in the toilet, the ventilation switch off as well. So it's like, boom, no light, then
See, so you didn't get that bad.
I love the sound effect, though.
I literally shit bricks. And I was like, okay, I'm done, guys. I'm done. I'm like, but I knew that after like that 2 seconds, you thought that it was something creepy. And then he had to switch the light from the front. That was what gave it away. So I saw something open the door and pump the light.
Okay.
I was like, okay, lame this guy. Then I go. Like, and at this point, I'm like barely dressed. Because you want to go and on back the light. Safety, bro. Then I on back the light. On back the light, right? Then I go back, finish my business. Then I go out. Then he waited. He waited at the end. Then he like at the swinging door. So I did not expect anyone, and there was no lights at all. They switched off every single light towards the hallway.
Oh my god.
Then after that, then I got scared. I was like, that was a good one. That was
effort,
Okay, but jump scare. Don't
yeah,
count.
It's a cheap jump scare. But to be honest, at 2 a.m. When you're doing your business, you are the most vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
So when it
You
comes
cannot
out like that,
defend,
you're like, walao eh.
Cannot have even white bear.
Yeah, walao eh. Yeah, so yeah,
Wait,
there's a slight disgusting tangent.
I love how you're like, jump scare. No.
You see it too much in horror movies,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's
No,
low
but
level
to
jump scare.
That's the white clothing, you know.
Yeah. You want to prank me, at least be atmospheric about
To
it.
experience it yourself, man, like it's different. It's different. I always make fun of it, but it's different.
How
So
did you do any ghost hunting?
More lame lah, not like Gareth like that. It's more
Yours a bit hardcore.
yeah.
to be fair.
It's like my school was quite empty.
Yeah.
Because I think it's cannot make it kind of secondary school, so there was only like 2 classes per whatever level.
I like to believe that some of your old secondary school teachers are for some reason watching this now going bloody sweet.
I hope so. Then the top floor all empty so they will just do this kind of dares. I don't know why guys do it all the time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
When we're
it's really
young,
dumb,
we always say, hey, there got ghosts, just this kind of
Yeah.
stories. Then you go there, supposedly there's a black figure in one of the classrooms, then you just run by to try and act like you're brave enough to see it.
So do you see it?
Oh, it's bullshit.
No, but ghost
No,
hunting.
not every
If he saw
school.
it, right?
Yeah.
The tone of his story will probably be a lot
Exactly.
different than what it is now.
No, but the ghost hunting though. Did you do any ghost hunting?
No.
No.
But schools always have horror
Stories,
stories.
or-
Yeah. Every single school
Every
has horror
single-
story.
yeah.
Yeah.
My school had like people. Well, I mean, I can't say for my because I only can tell stories that I experienced, which is that one. But then my
that's
friend broke into our school, which is damn stupid. He got arrested for the police at the end of that night, lah.
That
for
sounds like a
breaking in,
horror story right there.
And then he went in, right, and then he apparently said that he went to the D&T, which is supposed to be the most cursed area in our school. And
Yeah.
then the D&T, apparently one of the saw turned on its own. So he tells me that, I don't know how true it is, but he really got arrested.
Wait, this guy went in alone.
Oh, he went with 2 other people. But they like kind of ventured off once they entered the school.
So
which
they all got arrested lah.
they all got arrested. The police came.
So how the police know?
The housekeeper or something, the groundskeeper.
the caretaker.
Yeah, the
He-
caretaker.
he stayed there lah,
He
the
stayed
guy.
there, so he saw them and he called the police. Right? The police handcuffed all 3 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what it must have been like for the caretaker? Right? You just suddenly see these 3 figures running out.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
And their students, but all like we come to this school. I was like, you're stupid. You have nothing to do. Break into
right.
our school.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel really bad for and mad respects to people who are in the force. I feel really bad for them because they have to respond to everything. Domestic violence, complain about your neighbors, and then ghosts. That's the best part.
Yeah.
Ghosts.
Yeah, but this group, this group of friends did like really strange stuff. Another thing that they did, which I'm thankful nothing happened, but because they took my phone as well, is that they, the drains, the big.
Oh, yeah.
They we went into the drain.
Yeah.
And they traveled deep to the other end. Like I had to walk damn far to find them. And it's pitch black dark. That kind of like at night. They went at night. of
At
all
night
things.
some more.
At night. And they just want the only thing helped like holding them together was the phone, my phone's torchlight. That's it. They didn't even bring proper torchlight or spare batteries.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is damn stupid.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if my battery died or something like
Teenagers, right?
that. Yep.
Yeah.
And they just ventured in. Yeah. And
It's okay, man.
yeah, my worry was like
Quite chill about
they
that,
can't even
yeah.
have signal. Like it didn't have signals
Yeah.
at certain points. Yeah.
I don't know. For me, like that story, the most terrifying aspect of that story, right, is the amount of lizards that must be in that drain.
Mine was different. I was like, what if it suddenly rains
Yeah.
and they're screwed?
Yeah. Probably.
They're dead. Like, they're confirmed dead. Like if Singapore is not,
No,
we don't know about.
It's dirty, A lot of the
Literally
waste is there.
dirty,
Yeah. Waste is there. But I mean, teenagers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't go into the sewers, please.
Don't do that.
It's really dumb. It might come out and eat you.
I mean, okay lah. That one,
Okay lah.
after a while, he turns to a giant spider. Then you're like, what's going on here? I don't understand.
Don't spoil the movie for people.
It's a very, very old movie and a very, very old book. I'm quite sure people know the ending by now.
But we don't have a lot of clowns in Singapore, so
Yeah, we
it
have a
has
lot
to
of
be
clowns.
something else.
I mean, we've got not literal clowns, but we've got people who do stupid stuff and we call them clowns.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, lah.
So let's look at some of the comments. Eldred Tan, is it your friend?
Hey, Eldred.
Yeah.
Hey.
He said that Joel is
Eldred?
looking really nervous.
Joel. Really, man? No, because I
He's
have.
holding his pee.
There's a lot of stuff.
You're
He's gonna go to the toilet. He's
The light's
dying.
flickering now, but
Yeah,
I
okay.
think it's
Actually,
quite safe.
normally every 1
You got a
hour
lot
or so I
of
need to go
story.
toilet one.
Yeah.
I go with you.
Hold it in. Don't worry, if you want to go, get a buddy. It's okay. I understand.
I don't mind going again.
Yeah. So the WSA said the ghost speaks. Lost in Malaysia says that it's alive. Okay. Lost in Malaysia also says that the dead body cache coming summer 2021. Summer already almost over already lah, bro. Yeah. So your friends Leonora says that hi to all of you. Hi.
Hello.
Thanks for tuning in. Danny says that the ghost disappeared just now.
See, somebody missed you, Ivan.
You know, as a ghost, like sometimes you vanish, you come back. That's how ghosts operates.
I love how it's reached a point in time where you're just fully embracing it. Well, you know, as a ghost, sometimes I will just disappear and then come back.
Immerse in my role already.
Ivan,
Yeah, well done.
Ivan, you know what? If you can't beat them, you join them.
Exactly.
That's some method haunting.
And then
right
they'll
there,
follow you home.
Oh no! Wait! I'm going home alone later. Please, guys, please.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a tip, all right, on how to beat all these scary thoughts in your head.
Okay.
Because I've been through it. Watch dirty stuff, if you know what I mean.
Watch the.
Have you?
Does it help?
No, like it immediately changes the because you don't think about it. I think it's
Yeah.
a chemical thing, right?
Or you hang out with angmos also.
Yeah.
And it works.
No, but okay.
The Asian ghosts don't chase after you.
You say that. I used to work with a Caucasian guy, this Brit fella, who, because for some reason he was telling me this. It's like, oh yeah, apparently Singapore is like per square kilometer the most haunted place in the world. I was like, oh cool that you know that. I don't. And he was like, yeah, I want to go to that old Changi hospital. I was like, hey man, you have fun.
Yeah.
Because he's got a wife and a kid. I'm like, you
Yeah.
want to go to old Changi hospital? Yeah, I want to see what it looks like. It's like, okay, you have fun. You
Yeah,
go
but the
there.
Brits are big on haunted stuff.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
Like crazy amount of haunted podcasts.
oh, that's
from,
true.
From
that
UK.
is true.
Yeah.
But they got so much hunter stuff already. Why they want to come here? They want to colonize everything, man.
Okay.
Just a joke, okay? Yeah, no, but like seriously, like they got more haunted stuff than us. They got so many castles that are like centuries.
And they go all out and with all the
Yeah,
equipment and
1,000
stuff.
yeah,
one.
exactly.
Yeah, but
Like-
to be fair, I guess it's like we were saying, it's like a whole different kind of haunting.
No, but maybe that's why they are fascinated with us, because they are like, you call OCH hunter. How many years? 50 years? Nothing now. We got 1,000-year-old one.
hey, it's not. It's
The
not,
headless ghost still walking around, bro.
it's not. It's not the age of the haunted spot. It's the garangness of it. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
so
True,
which ghost has more malice? With the
Oh,
British
man.
ghost versus
Oh.
the Asian ghost? It has to be Asian hands down, right?
No, for me, it's definitely Asian.
Asian, right?
I
Depends on what level.
What level that is?
no.
Angmo ghost is like what?
If you have high level Among Us, there's also high level
Yeah, but okay.
Asian ghosts,
if,
right?
if we're looking at high level, like Western ghosts versus high level Asian ghosts, hands down, my firm belief is that Asian ghosts are way more scary.
Yeah.
I feel like we're frightened of Western ghosts more from the movies we've watched more than anything else. Whereas here, because it's not just movies, here is, and again, this is biased lah, because like we're
Asia.
in
Yeah, we're here.
So like it's not just movies for us, it's movies and then the stories people tell and then stuff that you might have seen and all that. add all that in, right? For me,
Actually,
hands down Asian
what kind of Angmo ghosts are there? I mean, most of the Angmo stuff I see like paranormal activity, things moving,
Yep.
right? Things that you cannot
Demons.
explain, not really
Yeah.
things you can see.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah.
but at least for the Asian side, they always visualize everything to the detail.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Miss
Yep,
P,
yep.
everything is to the detail.
Yeah. Is the
We've
I
got
think
better branding.
it's basically poltergeist like spirits, right? I think is the difference between the culture on what I read so far, right, is basically spirits is on a normal level, then you have demons. That's when things
Escalates,
like
yeah.
Annabelle's, like the nun demon of the Conjuring universe. Those are like hardcore, right?
Yeah.
I think that one will give like even Miss P a shot like see who
That's
is,
true,
who-
that's
who-
true.
more rabak right? You know.
I mean, if you're
Same tier lah, same tier.
About there, I think like it's very hard because you're talking about the nun, right? That thing is actually a demon, but Miss P was human, right? So how do you compare?
It's
And then
lower
we
demon,
haven't
yeah.
even reached then you want to reach another level, right? On that kind of mythology, then we're talking about jinns, right? Jinns is like they're kind of like demons already. Then in the Chinese world, there's also Chinese demons and stuff. Then the Thai world, then the Indian world, all got different demons, right? So I think maybe in my mind, like in the very very long-winded answer, is probably the eastern side of things is scary.
Yeah.
Is vampire considered a demon?
No,
Myth?
is it creature?
Monster.
Yeah, monster.
Monster. Werewolf belong to the werewolf category.
There's this weird fine line between all the different like spirit, creature, monster, and all that. So it's like, but that's the thing. Like, okay, when I think vampires in like a Western context, then yes, okay, it's more monster lah. Because you categorize them like Frankenstein's monster, the
Yeah,
Eastman
yeah.
Man, all that. But then here, I get like the Chinese. I'm not gonna even try to pronounce it. I know I'll mispronounce it, and then you laugh at me. The Chinese hopping vampire.
Yeah.
I pronounce.
Jiangshi.
There we go, Jiangshi. But like that, is that a monster or is it more of a demon?
I think it's more of a it's not a
I
demon.
see it more as a monster.
It's
Yeah,
a monster.
monster.
It's a creature lah. Like it was human, right? Right?
Okay, fair.
And it was transformed because of magic lah, in a sense,
Yeah.
like Taoist magic lah. So I honestly I will believe in Dracula more than it, because it just sounds like a bunch of horse.
It's more for comedic effect.
No, it's not that. It's just that it biologically it does not make sense, right? It
Okay.
doesn't make sense. Like, okay, stiff, right? If your body is stiff, you go through rigor mortis, right? But you still can jump. How do you jump? You need the muscle, right?
okay.
Alright. Thing to the
Alright,
level,
when you reach that level, yeah. Okay, yeah, makes sense.
No, but like then in terms of Dracula, it's because he has demonic powers, what? And like he's the first one, the first of his kind, right? Therefore he's the strongest. Yeah, then that makes more sense, what? Then to say I kind of view Jiangshi almost on the same level as zombies. Like,
Okay.
right? Like,
I mean, they kind of are in the Chinese version.
they are lah.
Chinese zombie.
But
yeah.
to jump is like, okay lah, then you jump after 2 years they still jump, right? I think everything fall off already. Right?
That's a good point
But
though.
the power
That's a
comes
good
from
point.
No.
The charm.
The charm actually immobilizes them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's no power. The power comes from the magic. The magic of the Taoist.
Then wouldn't magic explain them being able to jump?
There
Right.
you go.
I love how this is the
That's
point.
tough.
Yeah, this is the point where it's like,
Nothing trumps magic, bro.
But that's a good point, right?
Yeah.
But there is actually documented research lah. Apparently, it's a ruse because people are using that to transport drugs. In ancient China.
Okay, alright.
Right?
okay.
So because people see, dead body, somebody, because when they do that, they will like say some chant and then they'll say something along the line like, I'm transporting the dead, the living, please look away. So people
Oh, so they
pantan,
can-
right? Then they're like,
Yeah,
got the dead, I don't want to see the dead. So I'm more inclined to believe that it is for drugs. Therefore, it's like,
So those hopping were high on the drugs and they were like,
no. These people were pretending to be vampires.
that's
and
what I'm
they were
imagining
drugs.
right now. We're like, I have to carry this, but okay.
But what kind of drugs? I don't know lah. At that
Chinese
point-
drugs.
At that point, got what drugs?
Yeah.
Probably opium lah.
Opium, yeah,
yeah,
opium,
but
yeah.
wouldn't they be more relaxed?
But opium is,
vampires?
opium is
Yeah,
relaxed.
like
It's
the
not the
shit-
energized.
They wouldn't be hopping.
Yeah.
But actually, also, do you realize something? The Asian side tend to always make the zombies or the vampires more scary, whereas the Western side, they always like to make it more sexy, more desirable.
Yes,
you think of
yes.
True Blood, you think
Yes,
of like Edward
yes.
Cullen. Even the zombie also, the handsome guy is like, wow, suddenly got love story and everything. So when I think about Angmo ghosts, don't really think it's that scary. Or maybe I haven't come across a very scary
They
one.
try to
yet,
twist the ghosts into more like romance line.
Yeah,
they're more. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it kind of goes back to like the, of course the writer's gonna say this lah, but the literature side of things, like when you think back to like, you know, your Bram Stoker's Dracula and you think back to your Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and it's all very gothic horror, and then it's only like a slight step away from your romanticized kind of gothic horror lah. So I think that's where it comes first. But like I was telling Carl this, I don't know whether you guys have heard of Man Wok. He was, I can't remember his position, but he was like one of the earliest members of the PAP. He was also a horror writer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So his stuff had been out of print for quite some time. Then recently, another author down here, Ng Yisheng, edited a best of collection of his stuff. And you read the way he writes. And this is the weird thing. I've never read Othman Wok stuff before until like this year. But I've always told Carl that when we tell the ghost stories in Ghost Maps, they are modeled after the way we all tell each other ghost stories. And then you read Othman Wok stuff and you realize that the way we tell each other ghost stories is modeled after how he wrote. Because it's so similar, and he wrote the stuff in like the earlier half of the 20th century. So it like the literature really informed everything.
Yeah.
Like the stories are kind of quaint now, but it's a very interesting like aspect of history. So I guess the way you tell the stories kind of informs the way the ghosts or the creatures are. So
Yeah, that's very true.
So yeah, you'll get your Edward Cullen and all that because it's also romanticized and all that.
A little bit more about the writers, right?
Yeah.
Anybody remember the true Singapore ghost stories writer?
Oh,
Yes, we've been
You
talking
talked about
about
it?
Russell Lee for like the longest
Oh, okay.
time. But Russell Lee, if you want to appear on our show, we'll be more
He
than
needs to
happy.
come in his,
Inspiration,
Whichever version of you
role.
want.
Whichever version of you that you are going to come on is okay. Ghost Maps is also partly started because of you.
Oh, wow.
The true Southeast Asia horror stories is actually a nod to true Singapore ghost stories.
You know, thank goodness we never actually revealed where our office is. If not, we'll have people like the Russell Lee Black Mask showing up saying, "Oh, hi guys."
Yeah, you
Like,
won't know.
anybody
You
will
won't
Black
know
Mask.
it.
Yeah, you won't know what it is.
No, but
Like
he
black-
came to my school for the signing and
Oh, really?
yeah. So,
Angsana, right? The publisher.
I think it was.
Angsana,
I think
yeah.
it was.
yeah, and he was he dressed up in the full. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was very impressed at the effort.
Oh,
that
yeah,
he
yeah.
had to wrap himself up and everything.
Yeah. So if we ever get Russell Lee, then we try to get everybody together to talk about ghost stories. Because Dead Air is here to stay. Yeah, Dead Air will not die. Ironically.
I was waiting for you to make that pun.
Yeah, exactly.
I was waiting for you to make that pun.
So, Danny says that here in the Philippines, we have white ladies and black ladies equally scary based on the stories. I think, I think the is back to the whole thing of playing colors, right? Like black, like for Chinese and majority of the Asians, black is bad, right? Black color. Like I'm really into the color. Then my house is also in that color. Like, and then like when my older relatives come, or you get the disapproving look.
Well, I always thought in Chinese culture, like, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I always thought in Chinese culture, like, white is associated with death, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is
Well,
so-
that's why you cannot have black and white.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I mean, like I have all so the
yeah,
color.
that's true.
Yeah. I ever wore black to a Chinese New Year.
Oh, me too.
Oh, really?
Me too.
You can't.
Oh,
No, I wore.
I would.
I think-
I did that, and then nobody said anything.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I-
disrespectful.
Nobody said anything to you.
No, because they know this guy is like the artist in the family, a filmmaker, so nobody cares.
I wore a black shirt, but
Yeah.
the pants wasn't black lah. And then I got told, "Well, this is not 不吉利啊." Then
Yeah.
but there was just one moment. I never wore black again.
I write down to the fact that when I go for Chinese New Year visiting, obviously to Chinese friends and clearly I'm not hosting anybody. I write down to my underwear. I make sure I'm not wearing black.
It's okay, bro. Okay, so I'm gonna lay it out here. If any one of you comes to my house for Chinese New Year, it's okay to wear whatever color you want. Okay, it's the thought that counts. It's not the color that counts. I honestly, okay, I think that it is a good tradition to have, but like to dictate the colors of someone's wardrobe is a little bit pushing
Too much
it.
lah.
A little bit. I think you just tell them red is encouraged, but you can wear whatever you want.
It's like going for weddings, dress code.
Yeah, but I mean, weddings reach to the next level of superstition, which is if somebody in your family member passed, you're not supposed to go to wedding.
Oh, yeah,
So they have this level, and you have to respect the party, the one that you're going for, because they really don't want you there. They
Yeah,
really
my-
want-
also, yeah.
Yeah.
My contractor was supposed to pass me the remaining amount of money for the deposit, right? And then he refused to come to my house. Then I asked him why. He said, "Oh, because my family, I got one relative that passed away. I went to the wake. And you just moved house, right? I don't want to like bring the sway." I'm like, I'm chill, I'm okay. But it is you know, like I say, okay, I'll respect it lah. You just pass it to me whenever you're okay lah.
See, wait. So he says that he can't come to your house to pass you your deposit because
Because of the funeral lah.
I call bull on that. Why got no pay now?
Huh?
Got no pay now.
No. It has to be cash. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for accounting purposes. Ooh. No, I think it's probably like that was a bell for our thing.
Anyway, I think now is a perfect opportunity to share, maybe if you all don't mind, my own personal story.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I'm more like 99.99% sure that I am living with a benevolent thing.
Wait,
So-
are you set
Yeah.
context? Are you living alone?
No. Okay, so in my house,
Yes.
it's only me, my dad, and my helper.
Right.
So there are only 3 of us, right? And actually, for the longest time, I've moved in since I was 14. So that was about, I'm 28 now, so 14 years ago. So ever since I moved in, right, I never personally experienced anything. But one time when my friends came over, and it was quite late at night already, my friend is an Indonesian girl. So she noticed something that was very off. And throughout the night, she was acting very weird already. I've been living there for about 2-3 years at that point of time, so I never really thought much about it lah. And then the next day, she actually texted me. She said, "Joel, can I tell you something?" I said, "Yeah, sure. What is it?" So I don't know how to tell you, but do you know that there is actually something in your house? So side context is that she is someone who actually can see things. And she said that it's not, good news is that it's not harmful. Bad news is that it's there.
Yeah.
You know? And she said that throughout the time when she was in my house for 3 or 4 hours. The thing, it was a black shadow. As you mentioned, right, there was no details. No details on her face. It was a black, tall shadow. But she said it was more towards the old figure. And it was just pacing up and down the whole time. And even a few times it went into the toilet. So my living room like that, and my toilet's in here. So it actually moved inside here. So I was like, okay, maybe she's thinking too much. I never really thought much about it. Until one time, my helper actually told me something. So she only told me this when I was like 19 or 18, but she said that this happened to her many times.
Okay.
So there was one incident that me and my dad, we went overseas. So it was only my helper at home alone, right? And when she's home alone, she actually sleeps in the big room, right? So in the master bedroom, she sleeps on the floor, and just a few steps away from here is the toilet, okay? So my toilet is actually a sliding kind of toilet, so you can actually hear the sound. So my mate is also someone who's very sensitive to these type of things. At home, in her hometown, she can already experience these kind of things.
Indonesian?
Indonesian.
Okay.
No, sorry, Philippine. Philippine mate.
Okay.
Mate. So I was with my dad overseas for a week or so. She said this happened. One night when she was sleeping, I think on the second night then we were away. When she was sleeping, it was about 2 or 3 a.m. She remembered very clearly. She said that she suddenly heard, in the toilet, the shower was on. Right? And then she just like, is it raining or not? It cannot be, right? But she's just sleeping beside the window. She checked. It was not raining. She heard the shower on. So she tried to ignore. She closed her eyes. She covered a blanket. A few seconds later, sliding door. And then she saw this happen where she heard footsteps walking towards her. It was wet. So it's sloshing. Walking up towards her forehead, her head here. And then she felt there was something there just looking down. And then walked back. Sliding door closed. And the shower off. So she was under the blanket. She didn't dare to move at all. And then until she tried to just wait until the sun was up. And then about 6, 7 a.m., she couldn't take it anymore. So she lifted up. She looked around. She went to the toilet. And as you expect, nothing was there. It was not wet at all. She heard showers. Everything was very loud. Walking. But nothing. So she said, okay, maybe it's my imagination. So this is incident 1. Okay, there's another incident where she was usually Skyping with her family back in Philippines, right? So they're talking. And then when she was talking with a video call, she was video calling her family. And then her family just suddenly stopped and then look at her. And she was talking. And then she said, why you stop talking? Then the family said, your employer not asking you to cook for him. Who's the one that's saying, hey, cook for me. Then my mate looked at them. Nobody's home, I'm alone. Then he just looked at her. Then they, never mind, I think everything wrong. But this happened not once, not twice, but 3 times. So she said while she video called them, right, every time they stop and look at her, she know that something wrong already. And it was always the same thing. Cook for me. It's behind her. So this type of things, when she told me, I was, of course, again, skeptical, right? I mean, how do I really believe? But my friend told me this first incident, she saw the black figure, okay. This time around got 2 type of incidents already. So I started to believe more, but never really fully, truly believed until that one very day where I personally believed. And this is the story that I actually tell all my friends, and they all gave me the same reaction. So this was actually not very long ago. It was when I was 20 plus. So I had a dog at that point of time, and it was a Sunday. So Sunday was my mate's day off, right? And Sunday, my dad is usually also go to the market. He was always out for Sunday. So my mate left first, followed by my dad. Then I was at home alone with my dog, right? So on that day, I also going out lah. So before I left, I remember I poured kibbles into the food bowl. I left it for my dog. My dog is a Japanese Spitz, very cute. Yeah. And I on the light. So one small light before I left. I remember very clearly, I swear. So I on the small light, I left. Went out, had a fun time. At about 7 p.m., I was downstairs. I saw my mate. So, hey, auntie, you're here, let's go up together lah. So we both took the lift up. So we took the lift up, went to my gate, opened the gate. When I opened the door, the first thing I noticed was, how come the light isn't on? And then on normal occasions, my dog will always like, the moment I shuffle my keys, my dog will come to me, run up, try to claw me. Nothing. This time around, nothing. So I got scared. I was like, first, why is my light off? Is anyone home? So I said hello, nobody was there. And then I called for my dog, Coco. She never come. And then I was like, okay, this is weird. So I turned to my left, I on the light. And then as I moved towards the living room, the first thing I saw, right, was the kibbles that I put in the kitchen was now in the living room. Okay? The strange thing was, the kibbles that are in the bowl, right, it was actually placed very nicely, spaced, leading underneath the table. It was spaced very nicely. It's not like one trail, it's not something hit over, it was spaced very nicely. Leading under the table. And when I bent down and looked underneath, my dog was underneath the chair. She was shivering. It was leading all the way to her mouth there. And then I looked at my mate and said that, you didn't come home before me, right? She said, no, I just come home with you. My dad left after she left, and I was the last to leave. So I was like, okay, let's just pretend we didn't say anything. So we kept up the kibbles we put in a bowl, and I had to actually use a lot of effort to bring my dog out. Yeah. She was shaking. And I have to calm her down, and then before she finally got comfortable enough to eat again. But that experience really opened my eyes. I mean, even now I can still remember exactly how every detail went because I was just so affected by it. I never really shared how scared I was, but at that point of time I was like, okay, I'm maybe really not alone anymore. So yeah.
Is that the only incident?
That was the latest one. After that, we also found out that I like to play mahjong lah. So
okay.
Yeah, I have a manual table last time at home. We play mahjong. 4 of us, we just playing, chilling. All of a sudden, one tile at the corner will just flip open. And all 4 of us who are playing mahjong, we just look at the mahjong. Look at each other. Oh, he wants to play also. So we just ignore.
How you know it's a he?
We just assume lah. We just assume.
So
to be fair, you probably could get like a feeling also. Like
I mean that's the latest, right?
That's
then
the latest.
How long was this story ago? Like 4 years, 5 years?
About there, 5-6 years ago.
You're still staying in this?
I'm still staying there.
It's not it's a second hand house, right? It's not.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, interesting story.
I'm not gonna give you advice. Because I spoke to Ernie about this. Like these kind of things, they are very deeply personal. If too like when someone else gets too involved, right? It may be bad for you. But so far, it's not. It's not. It doesn't seem to be very. It's more playful, lah. Like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, and it never really harmed me in the way kind of thing.
Yeah, but I think you might want to get it checked out. You might want to.
It's not normal, right? I mean,
it's not.
Just,
No. It's okay.
I'm trying my best to make it sound normal.
No. It's not normal at all. So based on what you say, right, there is a presence, lah, right? And your dog particularly.
No, my dog passed on already. Anyway,
okay.
Yeah.
So, was your dog particularly scared of a place in your house that you would never?
Actually, not really. Okay. Not really.
So, does it like look at certain corners in your place? Like, you will just stare. and then you just walk out.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was always there one corner.
So probably that corner lah. So what I'm saying is like in your family I presume there's no like religious objects or there's no So maybe lah. Because the thing probably is before you lah. So that's why it has a territory.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to do something about it. I'm just asking you to confirm. Usually you might want to confirm.
And this is the first time I actually experienced something weird to this extent.
Yes.
Right? Like it's there. I mean, it's evidence.
Maybe it wants you to feed it. Honestly.
Just a side context, my dog is obese. So it was fed to the point where
Not
even
your
if
dog.
it didn't.
It.
Yeah, so Ernie had a theory.
Right? Okay, Ernie, let's hear
Okay,
what was it?
the theory about this, it was the dog.
Oh, because you had quite a few incidents.
In
'Cause
different
It
places.
happened at a different house as well to his sibling.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then my theory was that the ghost was following the dog
Oh.
from that house to your place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be, but what I mean, like, because it was trying to deliver a message, because they leave breadcrumbs, like message. Then when you assemble them, so that's what it wants. I don't know.
Oh, that's why the
It's all
cook me
food.
comes about. Is it like
Like
my
you
mate
say,
was-
like say want to feed. Can you cook for me? Something like that, right?
Oh my god.
It could be a sign. I don't want you to like freak out or anything, but I'm just saying like sometimes when you are experiencing it, you can't see the signs. But when you tell it to someone else, someone says, "Oh, this is the signs, what? This is what they want you to do."
But you did say after the dog passed on, no more.
There was nothing already though. My dog passed on like 3 or 4 years ago.
Follow the dog, man.
Yeah. Okay, but my dog, although she had a very good life, in a way she also had a very terrifying life. In a way that before my dog lived with me, my dog was living with my sister who stayed with my mom. My parents are divorced, and my sister actually stayed in. I won't mention the place, but it's beside a forested area.
Okay.
And this was something I want to talk to you guys about later, lah. But
Sure.
basically, in the house, it was the most dirty place that my sister or I have ever been to.
Dirty as in like.
Things like
Okay.
literal things where
Okay.
the moment I went up the lift and opened the door, I can feel already that there was something there. And my dog is also evidence of
It's
it.
one of those condo.
It's a HDB.
Okay.
Right smack, literally right smack, 2 meters away is the forest already. You open up the window, it's pure darkness, no light.
Okay.
Leaves on the right, on the left.
Okay.
So my dog in that house, for a good 3 or 4 years, she would bark.
What makes you think that it didn't follow your dog, then go to your house and stay?
My friend saw it way before my dog came already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god, lucky sir, I'm not. Oh, I'm not lucky. Don't talk about
I
myself.
know.
Yeah.
I get it.
But that one in my sister's place was a territorial one. That one caused harm because it
yeah.
blue black. There was a lot of blue black on my sister,
Yeah lah.
and it was getting bigger every single day.
That I mean, yeah lah.
Yeah, it was messy lah.
We're not spiritual advisors or anything. No, we are ghost hunters. But what we are basing off is like basically like research and some of our point of views lah. So yeah, take it with a pinch of salt lah. But I feel like you should really get it checked out. Just make sure that it's not malicious. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Don't like chase it away lah. Like something worse might happen. But I think like you should actually check it out. Know what's happening. Or if you cannot tahan, just move ah.
Actually,
if you
I've
can,
come to a point to just accept it.
Yeah,
Is it okay? Like, or must I really do something?
It
about
really depends because I'm not religious, but I'm a strong believer of like faith, right? Like things happen for a reason and they are preordained already. Maybe you're just meant to go through this as human. I have a friend whose house is super haunted, and his son, right? This is my dad's friend that his son, right, is not scared on, like period not scared, but the whole family is terrified, and he's a poltergeist kind of spirit. So he will go right at the house, then the door pum, then he will shout, "Kao pei lah!" He said, "I trying to play game, right?" He will score one. He like legit not scared one. He not scared one. He will score, then stop. Yeah, but only to him lah. The
Oh
thing scared of him,
my
but not scared of the
goodness.
family lah.
Sounds
So
like a very
it's
nice comedy movie.
no, it's like
Co-inhabited.
it's like the invisible like tenant that he don't like but the tenant won't move out one then he will just have this. So
Acceptance
there's this dynamic and kind of acceptance But yeah but if it really comes to that, I think you should get a point of view But
Okay,
probably
okay.
not us
I mean, like the flip side of it is, and I've heard this from several different people, that some homes just have like a house spirit.
Yes.
And it's not there to like it's not there to cause trouble. It's not there to to do anything. It's just that's where it dwells.
It's just there.
It's
lah.
just there.
It's just there. lah.
Like talking about the shower thing reminded me of a friend was staying in an very old apartment.
Yeah. Made it into a Ghost Map episode.
Yeah, well, no, this one no, because it's a different apartment than what you're taking, and he was staying there with his roommate, and neither of them watch Channel 8. So same thing, shower, come on randomly, and then one roommate come out. It's like, are you in the shower? No, are you? Obviously not. And then we're like, okay, never mind. I'm just gonna go back and do my thing. Okay, I'm gonna go back and do my thing, and then just they'll pretend like they don't hear it. The funniest one was neither of them watches Channel 8. Several nights they will wake up to the sound of the TV being switched on, specifically to Channel 8. And they were like,
Oh,
do you wanna
just leave.
let
Oh
it watch.
man.
So
Yeah.
like there will be a spirit there. It doesn't bother them. Apparently it uses the shower.
Yeah.
And apparently it just likes Channel 8 dramas lah.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll agree with him. Like, you don't know for sure, and like, if you feel compelled to go like find out what it is, find out what it is lah.
Yeah.
But like, there's also a possibility.
It's really up to you, and it's also based on like your strength lah as a human. How do you like deal with this? It's like, are you gonna be scared, or are you gonna just like, whatever lah?
I thought when you said strength as human, I thought you wanted him to fight the
No lah. No lah. Like how do you do it? Okay, so for example, right, like if at night are you sleeping, then you suddenly hear something, would you go out and check? Because it's your house, right? Like if there's or would you like just I'm not gonna do anything. So it really depends on you. Everybody got their own threshold, right? So you cannot force yourself to do things. This is why like the whole scout thing is quite crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not any braver, If,
No,
if stuff like this happens, right, it's
Exactly,
worse, I will turn on every light in my house if I hear a sound in my house, that kind of level.
Exactly, it will backfire,
Yeah,
right?
it will backfire.
So it really depends on you. What like what we say may not apply to everybody. So it's okay lah. Humans are always afraid of the unknown.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Things that we don't understand. So that's fine. It applies to everything, including like spirits and stuff.
I mean, slight tangent is
Yeah.
my dog last time also Japanese Spitz crossed with a fuck terrier, so I was like, I can just imagine like what your dog would be like. It's like,
It's so cute. My gosh.
so poor thing dog.
So-
Yeah, scared lah.
Okay, let's lighten the mood.
Yeah, it's a bit
That's
too.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, horror story comes with the territory, right? So Jolene is asking a question to all. Wow, this is very existential.
Hang on, before we get to that one, can we just highlight this one?
What?
British ghosts be like, pardon me, kind sir, may I haunt you? No, right then, my apologies. I'll just be on my way.
This is by Jen Lewis. Yeah. So very very British of them.
British.
Right?
No, the interesting thing about that was, and just talking about like switching on lights and everything, because I was in London for like a holiday, and part of the holiday was when we want to watch a stage play literally called Ghost Stories, which, let me tell you, if watching a horror movie is scary, right, being there in person, where you can not just see it, but they can play with your other senses as well. So if like one character is talking about like, oh, my wife died in the hospital, and then suddenly the whole theater is filled with the smell of antiseptic.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a whole
Wow,
new
what
level of messing
experience.
with you.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
That
All
night,
senses.
yeah, and
I mean, the American and all their haunted houses are on another level.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
compared to
yeah,
what
yeah.
we
Oh,
just showed,
yeah,
right?
so good.
Haunted
Yeah.
Hayride. That one's
that
insane.
night went back to the B&B where me and my friend was staying at. Sat in the room, was like, no, screw this. Left the lights on the whole night, like, and it's an old B&B, so I was already like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Leaving the lights on is something that we all do, right?
Oh, yeah.
But the more you think about it, more like, the light's not gonna stop there.
No, see, the light, at the very least, I can see the reasoning behind down there. It's like, it's the
Fire.
cover yourself in the blanket kind
yeah,
of.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like fire lah.
Yeah.
You put fire. It's a very human instinct. Like
Blanket
fire.
thing.
The blanket thing
Yeah,
is like,
it's
what are you going to do? They're not going to
protection.
see you, is it? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just use Carl's method.
Yeah. Or
Good
she-
old porn.
Congratulations! Now the method of feeling braver by watching porn is going to be known as the Kyle method.
I mean, I'm fine with that. Right. Really, like, imagine just imagine like that you see something dirty, right? And then you get a boner.
Okay, I think now you have to specify dirty.
Like
Dirty? What kind of dirty?
Okay, dirty like you see a spirit, then you
Okay.
get a boner at the same time. It'll be awkward for both of you guys. Then both of you guys will be like, the spirit will say, I'll come later. Okay, I'll come in 5 minutes.
Yeah, you can just imagine spirit look at you, then look down.
Unless that was the storyline.
Yeah, exactly. Avoid eye contact, right? Yeah lah.
Exploring a new level of thing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
2021. We don't king shame. I mean,
We don't. Yeah. So let's move on to some of the comments. Jolene is asking a very existential question. A question to all. Do you think your fear of ghosts change in the course of human evolution as we become more civilized? Wow.
deep, huh?
Oh, that's you.
Wow. Chim eh.
Wow, that's. Can you repeat the question again?
So do you think that our fear for ghosts have changed in the course of human evolution? So basically, as we become more civilized, more atas, more technology, our fear, does it change?
I feel like ghosts, the stories we tell has links back to culture. Yeah, and we develop a lot on all these culture, like all the demons and all this all have different names, different kind of like they all tag to different. I'm talking more of the Western side of the demons, right? Yeah, and it's depicted in media lah, like Lucifer from Lucifer, the sexy one. Yeah. That's how we identify it. And even
the ulala one.
Yeah, and there's certain Japanese anime, they are so animated, all the different demons and all that kind of things. I thought it's all very good, but as we grow, I guess it changes. But all the classic one won't move. I get, it will. They all have a point.
It's like the Iron Man thing that said, right?
Yeah, Miss P won't
Get
change.
more first world, right?
No,
Miss P won't change. I don't
Yeah.
think so.
No, I swear this is not the cop-out answer, but I wholeheartedly agree with you. I think that there's something very primal about these certain things that, and there's a reason why I think these legends and these stories have lasted as long as they have. And yeah, okay, fair enough. Like, you know, technology is moving a lot faster than it used to, but I also feel like because they've become so entrenched in who we are, we're gonna keep like we started.
We will keep it lah.
Yeah, we started the whole reason why we started Ghost Maps, and I think we told you and Ivan this, but like, you know, the whole reason we started it was because we felt like people weren't telling these stories as much as we remember people telling the stories. But I think what we've learned over like, what has it been, like 2 years since nearly 2 years since we started Ghost Maps, is that the technology and the medium will change, but people will still keep telling ghost stories. It's just a question of, you know, how are they going to tell it? But I think like stuff like Miss P and all that, there might be some change here and there, depending on the culture, but the core of who she is kind of stays there.
It's like the legend being passed down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And
exactly,
it changes, like, okay, the whole idea of like vampires and how they're like different in every culture. One culture, it's like, ooh, I'm so romantic. The other culture is like, ooh, I'm hopping. You know, but like the basic gist of the vampire is there in like almost every single culture. It changes with each culture. So I think it's the same thing where, you know, these stories will change over time to fit the time.
Yeah.
The purpose of telling the story.
Exactly that. Like the purpose will evolve with who we are.
In the past, it's like to scare, so you don't go in the forest at night.
Correct.
Yeah.
But then now it's very different.
Like the meaning of knock on wood.
Yeah.
What's
the knock on wood thing or touch wood? It all originates from like spirits inhabit the trees. So when you knock, you're like, when you're saying something without knocking or touching the wood, it's kind of like cursing or tempting fate.
Yeah.
So you knock, so the spirits cannot hear what you're saying in that
I
sense.
see.
Yeah.
To add to the question, actually, do you think the next generation, like the kids now, maybe 5-10 years old, have the same fears for like Miss P that we currently have now?
I think it changes and evolves.
I think it depends on the parents also. If the parents are telling, like, if the parents are like messed up like our relatives, when they're like, horror movie.
But when we have this saying that like if you have not experienced something with a ghost, right, but you know someone who has, and the story kind of spreads that way.
Yeah.
So
a lot of modern ghost stories are more like bloody slasher rather than.
I think they're more. More afraid of the future. Like Black Mirror, like the future, the technology. It's kind of like forming its own mythology. Like the whole technology. Like what if like maybe the Black Mirror producers, they're watching. If
Charlie Brooker, please be watching us.
what if AI and robots after they die, they have a spirit realm. But it's like on the internet.
Yeah.
So they haunt you on your social media. So weird things like the actual hauntings don't take place physically, but they happen digitally in your space.
Shit, you gotta copyright that now.
I think there's like a movie.
Charlie
Down,
Brooker can
come
take
on.
it. Just come on our show.
There's
Fine
a
with
movie
it.
on that. Like on Facebook. It's I can't remember the title of the movie, but it's about that, like haunting through digital mediums, like Facebook conversation, Skype, all those kind of things.
Yes. They have done that before. But what if it's based on an AI or based on something that has been like a digital thing that has been murdered or something? So it comes back as a vengeful AI.
So the trolls lah.
pretty much lah. But an answer to your question, right? Like, I think for me lah, personally, this does not represent Ghost Maps as a whole. But for me, I feel that
He means the both of us, basically.
no, it doesn't. I feel like the future is bleak because we are becoming more and more like people will say things like, "Oh, ghosts, no such thing lah," right? And the chances of us actually bumping into one is very low simply because urbanization. A lot of them stay in forests. So what if we don't have forests? No ghosts ah. So all the ghosts extinct also with the animals also together.
That's true.
So that's my thoughts, and a lot of people are becoming less religious. You know, me being one of them. So when you lose religion, you lose the part of the superstition. The reason I'm like that because I've experienced it and I've seen it at some point in my life. So yeah, I think that that's a very bleak look at the future. But as creators, we will do what we can to conserve all these stories.
I'm kind of on the same page with him, but also at the same time on the complete opposite spectrum, because I like I said, like, you know, when you watch The Exorcist when you're a kid and you're raised in a very religious household, it hits you differently from when like you watch it in your 20s and you're not as religious as you used to be. I honestly think that it's not a case of how religious a society is. I think it's a case of whether that society wants to keep that culture going, because I feel like ghost stories, it's not a religious thing, it's a cultural thing. So yeah.
True.
I've just realized.
Ivan's missing again.
Yep, I think he's stuck.
Should we check whether he's
Is he okay?
Because I swear if Ivan's not outside, I'll be a bit worried.
Maybe he's inside.
But you know, some of the most scariest story that is urbanized, right? It's actually those that have to do with HDB. Even though it's urbanized, they still have their own. I mean, some of the scenes where I saw, which was quite scary, is always the lifts, where, you know, somebody on this certain level is standing there looking at you going up, that kind of things.
And then on the next level.
The next level. And some, I mean, I swear, some HDBs are designed to scare you.
I think it's just at night lah. The whole vibes, right? Vibes at night, right? After a certain time, right? Everything is quiet, where you can drop the pin and then you can still hear it.
The marble story, all that.
Marble is expansion of concrete lah. It's proven lah.
No, but like.
But what if you don't have a neighbor on top?
Stuff like that.
There's interestingly enough, Jerry, our last guest on the show, he sent me a link to, I think it was Mothership or what lah, and they were talking about like how like all these neighbors were really angry because there was one neighbor on like the 14th floor that was making a lot of noise, and then a neighbor on the 14th floor was like, it wasn't me, I don't know who's been making all these banging noises and everything. So everybody in the block keeps hearing these banging noises, but they don't know where it's coming from, and it's like happening like 3-4 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's,
So spot possible lah, concrete.
Yeah, but to the technology thing, I always say that if the current ghost can turn on and off your TV, they can do other things.
pretty much. So it goes into the next question. Your friend Leonora, she's asking, is it true when you talk about ghost stories, the spirits are actually listening in? And would you ever play with an Ouija board? Okay, so this is a 2-part question, right? Let's answer the first part.
I think we can answer the second part very quickly if we go.
Together
I'm quite
now.
sure all the answers
All together now.
Hello.
So everybody says no to Ouija board.
Nope.
Watch too much horror movies.
Joel's like, no.
So for me is no. I have never tried it and I don't intend to. I mean, I said with a question mark is because I'm not sure. Like at this point in life, I think probably not lah, right? I don't want to do dumb shit.
Yep.
But you never know, right? Like you maybe at one point, you really want to know. Or for example, you like, okay, like you have nothing to lose already. Like you're almost done with life. You're like, I'm gonna flip the coin. I'm gonna see what's on the other side before I cross over.
No.
No,
Yeah.
no.
It's okay.
You could screw up your chances of going to the one side. You know?
Exactly. Hashtag spoiler warning, man. I don't want to know also.
Fair point. So, is it true when you talk about them, they are listening? I think it is.
I'm quite sure that's even part of our sign off.
Yeah. So okay. He's back. So your friend, Leonora is asking, is it true when you talk about ghost stories, the spirits are actually listening? They are. So please do not talk about your house spirit at your house, because they are listening in.
I'm sure you've done it before.
Yeah.
I just did it that time.
Yeah.
Or
At
on
the house?
the Zoom.
Because
on
it's
the Zoom
a
in my house.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think about it, right? Like they were humans, and what do humans like to do? They like to listen. And they like to listen about themselves. Make them shook, right?
God.
And it's acknowledging because you're invisible, you cannot talk. Then you're like, oh my god, I'm invisible for so many years. Finally, somebody can acknowledge me. So it's not just about the acknowledgement. I think it's about like the amusement. So I listened to this great radio and podcast. 做工讲鬼 is by Dennis Chu, is by MediaCorp, right? It's a radio talk show about ghosts. It's similar to this, less jokes and less tangents.
That's not saying much.
They do it on Fridays, right? So his tagline is like perfect, right? It's 你在听，他们也在听. So it literally translates to when you're listening, they are listening in too.
Wow.
And I can prove to that. Like, we experienced it firsthand. We went for a recording in a relatively older building, but it's like revamped where we record ghost maps. So our voice artist is on the other side of the vocal booth. And I mean, nobody knows who he is, right? So he's just recording alone. So there's 3 of us, including our other co-founder, Paul. So we were just at the console and they were just listening in. And we were talking about some social media strategy. And out of nowhere, the light dims. At a very crucial point in the story where it's quite creepy. The light dims on its own. Like, just slightly, like...
Specific light someone, like the one...
No, it's a spotlight and it just dims. And then all 3 of us look at each other. I think I was the skeptic. I was like, I cannot be lah. Really, Then I just walk over and I go and turn it back. And I say faulty wiring. But a little part in my mind was like, they're probably listening in. And there were the staff that operates the studio, they tell me there is an entity there. It's an uncle. One entity.
Okay, funny thing to this is that I literally told this exact same story in detail just a couple of weeks back in the same room that my maid was sleeping in at the time.
Oh man.
With the toilet just a few steps away from me. So
okay, it means that you're used to it lah.
Yeah.
I more or less accepted lah, but I didn't know that, if the more you talk about it, the more chill they feel lah.
No lah, but like it's very human lah. Like it's a bit narcissism.
Then now the image in my mind is just the thing beside me, just like smiling kind of thing.
It's like, aww.
How about the hee?
Aww.
This is another one. It's a very short one.
Okay.
So, it was basically at another place. So not my current place, thank God. We were at this condo. It was actually with my ex. It was a couple of years ago already, and it was 2 to 3 a.m. So at night we were just making fun of each other, we're just teasing about, and we're laughing. All of a sudden, in the corner of the room, right, we just heard this sound. At 2 or 3 a.m. Then we just stopped immediately.
Bedroom lah.
It was in the bedroom. Like then we stopped immediately.
But it's like dark lah.
Dark.
Oh,
it was
man.
dim, but not completely dark, so we can see. The moment we heard that, we shot straight to the ceiling, and then just like, I tried to ignore it because I just tried to ignore it. And then she just said, "You heard that, right?" And I was like, "Oh shit, you heard it too." And then we just okay, let's go to sleep.
Sleeping with the lights on.
But I swear it was just like that childlike kind of a.
Yeah. But her place lah.
Yeah, it's a rented place.
Combining this
Man.
with the whole question about ghosts and technology, there was once we were on a Discord call with like a couple of friends. Like I can't remember whether you.
Oh man. Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
creepy. That was really creepy.
So all of us talking. Suddenly we hear hee hee on the Discord call.
It sounded like a kid or something.
Yeah. And we were like, was that you? No. Was that you? Was that
Okay.
no? Was that?
And we weren't talking about. Oh sorry, we were
Yeah.
just playing a board game. And if, I mean, if you just hear it, it's just like whatever lah. Just one hee hee lah. It's not like a full sentence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just don't care lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you just act at all. Just Like just act ignorant lah.
And it's always he not he.
That one Michael Jackson.
Very specific ghost evening on
That one Michael Jackson.
Hey, okay, enough of that. Because if we go any further and that suddenly, we have to pay royalty rights. And
that's true.
everything.
It's just it's just part of the story.
That's scary. Those royalty prices. Whoa.
So yeah.
Second part of the question.
I'm good.
So actual Western, this is from WSA. Actual Western ghost hauntings involve just things moving by itself. Actual Asian ghost hauntings actually show themselves to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a nice way to put it.
I don't know about that because there's you. Well, okay, to be fair, I'm not like super well read in terms of Western haunting and everything, but like, don't they see stuff as well? And it's not just like stuff moving and everything like that, but don't they see?
I
like-
mean, they do. Kinda.
I just cannot get the
Possessions, I
Western.
guess.
I mean, the British accent of.
Oh yeah, I
ghost
know.
spirit. Like,
Pardon me, sir. May I haunt you, please?
may I turn on the telly?
Yes. Might I turn on the telly? Ooh, channel 8. Lovely.
Yeah lah. I mean, like it's different lah. Maybe it's not scary for us, but
Like
it's,
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't know. Or maybe it's just our spirits too hardcore.
I just want to say now, I'm really sorry about how terrible that accent was.
We
I have friends who are like criticize like movies they're watching where an actor of a different nationality is like he can't do English accent. I'm sorry, my English accent's terrible.
I thought it was pretty well done though.
Oh, rather delightful. Thank you.
For our standards, right? So Avnish says sorry for missing the last episode with the Longkang. No worries, you can just watch it on YouTube. For this one
Longkang
also,
Kitty is not for the just. We weren't in a Longkang. Just
yeah,
sorry.
Longkang. Your friend says that the exorcism of Emily Rose was one of the Angmo horror films that she felt that was really scary.
Possessions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Okay, then
possessions.
think back to what is the scariest Western horror show that you can think of?
Exorcist.
No lah, but yeah.
Exorcist.
It's all relative
It's,
again.
it's all depends.
Chucky
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Chucky 1, 2, 3.
Paranormal Activity was pretty scary for me. But you see, it didn't hit very hard for Asian context because it's the place that we're living.
Yeah.
They lived in a house, right? A
Yeah,
proper
yeah.
house with that. It was designed like that. So if you attack the American demographic, you live in houses in the suburbs like that.
Yeah.
I would be freaked out walking through that hallway
Yeah,
or the
yeah.
door because most of the houses were designed like this with a pool at the back and
Yep.
all the stuff happened around the powder on the floor, things like this. But if you stay in the HDB,
And concept-wise, it was new.
it was
Yeah, yeah,
concept wise, it was new for them.
It
but
was
they have-
one of the most. It's like the new Blair Witch project.
yeah, the average.
Yeah.
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 The one that really scared me was, I don't know if you know, Amityville Horror.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The one
Well,
very famous. The reviews
yeah.
for it were quite bad, but actually I found the movie to be very terrifying.
I was actually quite impressive. Like it's not. I vaguely remember watching the original version of it.
Like there was just
the
yeah.
Ryan Reynolds one I didn't think was that bad.
there was some very very disturbing scenes, like
Yeah.
the one where the little girl put the babysitter into the closet,
Yeah.
and then she was actually killed through a headshot in the head,
Yeah.
and she took the babysitter's finger and stuck it through the head while she smiled at the
Yeah.
babysitter. So that one really like shook with me all the way, lah.
Yeah.
Ivan.
We acknowledge the ghost.
Oh, he drunk already. bro.
For me, right, like whenever I watch horror movies, I completely cover my eyes because I'm like completely terrified. But the problem with that, right, is like when the horror movies, it's not very scary. The thing is, your imagination is more scarier than the movie
Yeah.
itself, and then you end up freaking yourself a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
on that note, I like to talk about the appeal of horror movies. It's this curiosity in us that we want to know what's going on. Like even though it's scary as hell, but sometimes the plot line of the horror stories just keep me watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though sometimes it's bad as well, or some of the scares are, it's jump scares. James Wan is always jump scares, stuff like that, right? But the storyline behind it is like I want to know where this nun come from. I want to know like all these different movements, and I really like Shutter for one of the reasons was because like they were some of the cinematography, low level effects, not even the high level CGI kind of things, was very well thought out.
Yeah. I mean, for me, again, the writer is just gonna agree with that because, like, for me, it's a case of if you don't. It's gonna sound so cheesy. If you don't care how to scare, like
That's Monster Inc. We scare because we care.
Oh, that's true. No, but like it's a case of like if you don't care about the characters, and the characters could also include the spirit and everything like that. Like it's not gonna jump scare, but like what's the point then? Then it's like, oh no. Then you come out, it's like, it's not gonna, it's exactly like what you said, where it's a case of, you watch the movie and everything. To me, the most frightening part is, right, after the movie, right, if you're still thinking about it, that's the worst
Yeah,
part.
yeah, I agree.
Getting
Yeah,
scared in the
exactly.
movie is like, that's part one. Part two is like when you go home and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna leave lights on tonight.
And you
Jump
lose
scares-
sleep and you spend the next 6 hours until 6 a.m. just thinking of the different ways the ghost can get you.
Exactly.
Jump scares, you forget the night immediately, but if the things are relatable, that's
Yeah.
why you think about it constantly again and again and again.
I think it's the atmosphere lah. It's the atmosphere that you set up. That's why people like true ghost stories, right? Because it may be real and like
Yeah.
they like to attach it to real places.
Yeah.
That's why people also like true crime. I think humans just want adventure. We want adventure, but in different levels. Some people like horror, they want to explore the unknown. Some people like want to explore the unexplored, like going to the moon, like going to Mars, like they just want to find out things like going to the deepest part of the ocean, things like that. I think humans just are attracted to action in general, but just in different contexts.
I think it's also a
Yeah.
case of, and I quite sure somebody has brought this up before, like in the whole conversation of it, but it's also a case of your level of privilege. So if, let's say, I think it's fair to say we all live reasonably comfortable lives out here. lah.
Yeah.
So for us, it's like a horror movie is there's a sense of danger to it. Like if you're going through hardship, if you live in a very dangerous place, you're really not
Yeah.
going to give a crap about the
Yeah,
poltergeist.
yeah.
The poltergeist is the least dangerous thing in
Yeah.
your face.
That's
But
true.
for us,
Yeah.
it's a case of like, that little it becomes a thrill. So
It's
the
true,
thrill of
true.
danger.
Like emotional privilege to actually
Exactly that. Yeah.
So
Oh, actually, I never thought about it that way though. That's very well put.
it's like people who are super like my wife, right? She grows up in a pretty decent family. So she's super into gory stuff. Like she's super into like all these like gore horror and stuff. I told her I can't take it because I've seen actual cops before. So that's quite messed up lah. So to me that's kind of real. So I cannot. Yeah. So it's also the privilege lah. So like
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
experiences, right? Like how it actually affects your perspective on horror. I think that's quite
Which I mean, like when you talk about like paranormal activity, also it's always in the suburbs and stuff.
Yeah,
like
suburbs,
that, right?
yeah.
So it's a certain
So it's-
level.
We don't feel it because
Yeah.
we don't live in the suburbs. But once
Exactly.
you stay there and you can kind of relate how these the day to day is, then you start to freak out because oh my god, this look like my house. Yeah, this stairwell is the same. Things like this start to kick in.
relatability lah.
Yeah.
So okay, let's power through the comments because we are almost 2.5 hours.
Oh my
already.
goodness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So Lost in Malaysia says that white ghosts are probably popular because white represents purity, and if it's torn blood or has some blood marks, it means that the purity is damaged or ruined. That's why it's scary.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And WSA says that the stories that we told are super scary. Thank you very much.
WSA's exact quote is, "Damn uber creepy."
Nice.
Dennis says that your story, the ghost that takes showers, feeds the dog, and plays mahjong, coolness in a creepy sort of way. Feeds the dog, not really.
luring the dog out.
I've
Yeah.
actually never thought that it wants to be fed. I never thought on the other side though.
So Geraldine, our friend, she says that the chill spirit that wants to watch Channel 8. Yeah. Christopher says that he has a ghost story for us, and it's based on the time where he went to OBS Sabah in Mount Kinabalu. Yeah, please submit it through hantu.sg/contact, and then we'll take it from there. And we would love to tell your stories either here or Ghost Maps.
Just to jump in on that one also, hantu.sg/contact. Also, if you rather get in touch with us on Facebook,
Yeah.
we're also on Facebook. We are Hantu, WEAREHANTU. I swear I'll do the whole spiel later on, don't worry.
Or the alternative is that you can get drunk and have a good conversation with the guys from Drunken Ramblings.
We were planning a Mount Kinabalu hike like last year before COVID.
yeah.
hit. So
You
I think
go.
we need to know what
Prior
kind of
to
dangers
starting this
awaits us.
podcast,
out
we
there.
were supposed to climb Mount Kinabalu, then COVID struck. Yeah.
Well, I think it's a good idea.
But the mountains thing it's another story. Like in army, when I went to Brunei, they were telling us the camaraderie of the people who the experts that were there say don't take your parang out, don't slash anything, respect the jungle, they will get you lost. Like stuff like this happens.
yeah,
That's a whole different story. In
I'm
Brunei.
sure like I mean I've been to Brunei. It's boring. Sorry, Bruneians. Because I can't drink and I like to drink. But it's a beautiful country. People are super nice. But it's also there's this sense of creepiness to it, right? There's a sense of because it's so big and there's so little people. Like in comparison to the size, there's this sense of emptiness and creepiness. I went downstairs of my hotel at night, right, and it's all mountains. I was like, and this is very near the airport. Like, this is considered central.
The city.
And
area.
I was like, oh, this is creepy.
But if you go into the forested area, that's a whole new level.
I'm
the
sure.
forested has like they have
Nothing, right?
yeah, nothing, and then they also have like prayer places and stuff.
Okay.
Whoa.
So I think we have a lot of conversations, and I loved speaking to you guys. We definitely, and we need to hold a poll, and then we definitely want to get you guys back. Like I feel like there's so much ghost stories. Unfortunately, I don't know why you guys got so much ghost stories for some reason, right?
Drawn to each other.
I think at least half of you not even really into horror or like watch horror movies on it. But you guys seem to have a lot of horror stories. So I think this is a very interesting conversation.
We definitely need a part 2 of this.
Yeah.
Drunken
Part
Hantu.
Yeah, Drunken Hantu. Then you colon liquid courage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so then he said, isn't it more frightening that the stories persist despite our advancement in civilization? Modernity doesn't take the scariness away. The Hollywood notwithstanding. Yeah, actually that's very true, right? Yeah. So Avnish is saying that Ghostmaps is not for him to stay in contact with the supernatural, but to stay away from it, and above all, take a bath every day. I don't know what you do when you take a bath when listening to Ghostmaps. I don't want to know. But I'm glad that you using it to some use.
I'm also glad you take a bath every day.
Yes. That's Tristan Gerard says that he loves our vids. Thank you very much. Do check the boys from Drunken Ramblings also. They have some really interesting conversations. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce this. NDE space NDE. Hotels are probably more haunted than ever after being so empty since last year. It makes sense that ghosts were once human and also like clean and comfortable places to stay. I don't know. I don't think it's clean. You probably want to shine a black light on the hotel.
Yep.
Also, I like the idea that ghosts need their own staycation.
Well, after all that haunting, somebody needs to R&R, right? So Afnish says that Chuck the doll was in child play.
Chucky the doll.
Yeah, and he's asking like if there's any ghost in Southeast. There's like the ghost of Sinister, like a child eater.
I don't know actually.
The Bridge
I'm
Guardian.
Sure,
We're working on something very interesting that revolves a demon eating humans for building bridges.
Yeah.
So I think that would be quite So they're asking for it. Have you guys back?
Have the boys back for part 2 in Drunken Master Rambling mode.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Like we've got so much story. So shall we?
I think. Well, okay. We
asked. I think we asked the last question.
We literally had a whole bunch of questions there, but then it just went on all these.
This is the best conversation. You see, this is what the air is about.
But I think. So what? This question and. These two?
No, just this.
We've only scratched the surface.
Okay. So very quickly,
Yes.
can give one word answers. What are you most afraid of?
Of all of you, like individually.
In terms of ghosts lah.
No, it can be anything. It can be like afraid of a lizard, something
I'm afraid of moths.
like big ass moths or like just any moths.
In general, I'm quite afraid of moths and butterflies for some reason.
No.
I don't know why. I don't know where it came from.
I've heard that a lot recently. I don't know.
Really?
Why. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Big ass cockroaches that can fly. Those are on another level. Like
Okay, so like this is like the top fear.
top fear.
Top fear. Above
Like-
everything else.
Because I can actually see it, and if it flies, it's like I don't know. It's
I've always heard the phrase "nobody is brave when the cockroach starts flying." No one is brave.
Okay.
Gareth?
The word is abyss.
Yeah, that's fair.
When I think about the abyss of space, abyss of sea, that kind of scares me.
Nothingness lah.
Got your
Nothingness, the
you got
darkness.
your
But why would
HP
you-
Lovecraft?
Lovecraft is yeah.
Then why would you go on like the mountain heights? Because there's also nothing.
No, but it's
from
also the level of curiosity. Like I like. It scares me that the ocean is this big, but at the same time, I also want to know what's there. I want to know if Cthulhu is in the sea and stuff like that. And in the space, you don't know another kind. I know it scares me if we meet alien kind or whatever, but you would
But it's
like
nice
you would
to
like to
know
know,
lah.
right?
Yeah,
If
it's
they
nice
are
to know.
how civilized or how
Would be nice to
advanced
know
they are.
lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
For me, okay, it's a bit deep. What fears me the most is my imagination. So,
No, that's fair.
I mean, horror movies aside, my imagination makes it a lot more scarier than it ought to be. Then we come to, things you do in life. Your imagination makes things more fearful than things ought to be when you want to do
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No.
that-
That's completely understandable, dude. 100%.
Afraid of yourself, lah. Essentially.
And
your
you
biggest
ruined it.
your
Somehow you
biggest
know you
enemy
ruined
is
it.
your mind. Your biggest enemy.
And he brought it back. Well done, Ivan.
What about you guys? Like, what is your greatest fear?
What was my greatest fear? I actually forgot.
Well, it can't be that great now, get it?
Uh,
I mean, mine is. My first instinct is to say lizards.
yeah.
Like, viscerally speaking, that's the thing I'm most frightened of.
yes. We have the same fear.
You mean the one that's on your wall now, don't you?
I'm not gonna turn around. Yeah.
Nice try.
I like how I said I'm not gonna turn around, then immediately I look at like his laptop.
I lizard proof this studio, so
I tried.
we're good in this. But
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't say I'm fearless, but I don't have anything that I'm like worried about other than lizards. I genuinely don't like lizards. Like I really. So I have a agreement with my wife, right? I kill the cockroaches, she kills the lizard.
Small one or the are you scared of big ones also? Monitor lizard or as long as any lizard? Yeah.
No lah, just the small
Small
ones.
one.
Yeah.
The big ones I can like.
I mean, I'm not gonna go riding a monitor.
Exactly.
But like,
You won't see them, right? Like,
Very
if
often,
you see
yeah.
the one in your house, then you better run.
Yeah,
You
I
won't
think you
go
got
kill
problem.
it, right? Yeah. You see a monitor with lizard, that's not an enemy you should fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably will lose that fight.
Yeah. No. I mean, I'm sure there's something deeper than that. I just like we probably have to go back and watch the first episode. I think I might have said it, but I can't remember what it is.
Is it cause like at one point in your life, a lizard probably fell on you?
Oh no, I know exactly why.
Right.
I know exactly why I'm frightened of lizards. It's because I inherited the fear from my mom. Because that's exactly what happened to her. Like a lizard fell on her when she was in the shower,
Oh shit.
and she was freaked. This is
And
like
that's
when
more common than people think, actually.
Yeah, that's what freaks me out. That's so common. But like she
I
had
just got
this.
shivers. Yeah.
I know she had this
Exactly,
phobia of
right.
lizards her whole life, and she's passed it on to me. So like both me and my brother are freaked out by lizards. Him less so, but same thing like he's got a deal going with his wife where if he sees a lizard, he'll take rubber band, shoot the lizard down, then the wife will sketch.
Yeah.
The wife are the men. The wife
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, everybody is a man when cockroach start flying.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That is true. 100%.
My partner has seen like what I go through when I see lizards.
Oh my God.
And she's like, I didn't think that you were that scared, but it turns out like you're really scared. And she's got cats, and the cats don't do anything to the lizard. I'm like, what? One cat now. Like, the cat at that time wouldn't do anything to the lizard. I was like, come on, man. What's the point of having you around?
Yeah, a lizard crawled on me like when I was young. Like my old when I was like living with my parents, the old place, right, like had so much lizards. And I wasn't scared initially. So I followed another boy. Like we went into the forest, right, near my place. There was a small forest, and then he was a very sick boy, in a sense whereby he will catch lizards and then stab them onto a styrofoam board like a really sick trophy. Like he had, he killed all, and I was just there. I just stare at him like.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I don't know why. Then after a while, I think lizard karma. So like when we were like cleaning the place, right, then they shifted the whole like like the drawers, like the tall drawers, and then a bunch of them just ran out.
Oh my
like
God.
a bunch. Like I'm talking about like 3-4. But they ran in different. Then one ran on my foot.
Oh.
And then I was like, ugh. I think the fear came from there.
Are
And I
you
was like,
sure?
yeah.
No, are you sure that these were real lizards and not the ghosts of the lizards? that
Wow,
he
that
killed?
one I
lah.
don't know. But I didn't kill them. I didn't kill them. I
You
was
didn't
just,
stand up for them,
Correct.
You watched it happen.
I was a kid.
Quick scenario. What if you imagine you just in the middle of the night you're sleeping and then you woke up. You suddenly realize that a lizard was crawling on your face, and then it ran across your lips and teeth. The tail actually dropped and went into your mouth.
What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
description is so.
What is wrong
like,
with
you can
you?
feel it like grrr inside the mouth.
Okay, so I will try to spit it out. If I can't, I'll get like a really quick shot of whiskey and just down it lah.
I
Down it lah.
Extra protein.
Yeah,
Probably a lot of crying.
yeah. Then I'll probably puke lah. But
I actually I bit down a lizard before, but not by like It was in a drinking cup, but I didn't realize until I had it in my mouth.
You didn't realize there's a lizard inside?
No, it's like you don't even look in the cup, and then I just pour, and then I
Was it alive?
and there was a crunch. It's dead. I think it was dead. Then someone put it in a cup.
Wow.
Guys, can we go back to talking about ghosts?
Wait, was it a prank by the guys?
No, I think it's just unhygienic.
It was just some kid
Yeah.
being
Stupid.
yeah.
And then what did you do after that?
just puked it out because it was really bitter.
Oh, nice. I know the taste now.
Yeah.
It's bitter, guys. I mean, yeah.
That's so
But
strange.
It's
Eh?
a lizard. What do you
This
expect?
lizard stuff is. We all have lizard stories. Like I smuggled one from my home.
Why are we still having this conversation?
It's not really smuggled, but I was packing my bag and then I saw a lizard at my house at the corner. And then when I turned away, the lizard was gone. So I thought, okay, it went away. So I carried my bag to school, and when I opened my bag, it jumped up onto me. Then I freaked out lah.
No, but they do that, man. It's like
Yeah.
it's like they like to jump on people.
Yeah, they like to jump at me. Why
No,
there?
Yeah. The worst I've seen was I was like my whole family was having like makan at like some Teochew porridge place.
Oh.
And I think I told you this one. And my niece's boyfriend was sitting like underneath the awning of the place, and a lizard fell on it. It's huge fella. This I'm trying really hard not to swear, but like it the swearing won't be enough to encapsulate how big this bloody lizard was. And he stood up and he slapped the lizard away, and you could actually it flew across the road. And you could hear it getting hit by the car. That's how big this lizard was. You could hear the and you're like, oh my god. I could not finish my food after that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, to turn it to a positive side,
Yes.
says in their culture, I'll presume like in Indian culture, right, it is a good luck when a lizard fell upon your head.
It's okay. That's fine. No.
So if you kena, right, then you go buy 4D lah.
No,
you buy a lottery or something.
Nope. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll stick with my average luck. Thank you very much. If you need good luck.
Yep.
If
Okay.
that's the only way I'm gonna get it. No,
Yep.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we head off,
Yes.
pimping time.
Yes. Ping ping time. Please
Please.
look at the camera and pimp.
Pimp
Guys.
the hell out of the podcast.
Oh, I'll show.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, why
of
would we ask you?
I thought you just want us to post.
I thought it was a
Like,
photo.
just look at that.
No.
Photos.
So, okay. So there's four of y'all. Like pimp one different aspect of Drunken Ramblings podcast.
Yeah.
All
Go
four of
ahead.
y'all.
Go for
One
it, guys.
different
Go for it.
aspect,
Whichever. Ernie can start with the overall like
Yeah.
general pimping of it.
We swear, we drink,
We chill.
we
talk
chill,
about
we talk about
eating lizards also lah.
anything real. And we eat unscripted.
We don't plan anything.
Basically, if you're looking for a good time and want to learn something or just hear an interesting story, you can
Or just
check
hear
us out. Yeah.
talk nonsense for an hour or
Rambling
more.
lah. Drunken
Ramble.
Drunken
You
rambling.
just want to
Easy lah.
chill lah. I mean, you can come and chill also. We invite you anytime.
You do realize we've given an open invitation to anybody to come over and just.
Yeah, because it's not my house.
Fair enough. Wait. Where do y'all do the recordings?
Oh, we can now. We want to expose this.
No, not the actual
Ivan's
place.
house.
Ivan's house, right?
Yep.
Well, see, okay, now we definitely have to have a part 2 of you guys on because we were gonna ask questions about and whether y'all experience stuff at the recordings or anything. But we'll save that. We will save that for part 2. So that's your tease for part 2.
Let's save that for part
I'm glad nothing has happened yet. So
Yeah,
far,
no.
as of what I know.
Well,
but
don't
you-
worry, we'll give you more drinks the next time.
You have roommates, so you should be
You're
glad.
cool. Hey, Ivan, you can share the socials. That's your job.
Come on.
Okay, so this is, I don't know, been like 40, 50 episodes. I still can't get it right, but don't forget to follow us on Spotify, the Drunken Ramblings Podcast, on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts. Yeah. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
He's a couple of years.
Ernie, upon 10, how much would you give that promotion?
That one was a 6.
No, that was a 10 for me. That
That was a 10
describes
for you.
Drunken Ramblings, man.
That's true.
Each episode is a different ending, so you want to catch them all.
Wow, like, catch them all. To be fair, he's the only one that is almost drunk today lah. I mean, all of us we didn't drink
Yes,
lah.
yeah.
So good job.
almost
He's
drunk
on brand.
at the
He's
end
on
of
brand.
every episode.
All right. Any more pimpings you want to pimp?
Uh,
You want to? You can't
Yeah,
pimp.
no,
Very good.
no,
Enough, right? You-
no, it's for you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think we can call that a close now. We went
Yeah.
off way longer than we thought we were.
Yeah,
gonna.
thanks
my
for
goodness.
thanks for
Thanks for joining
dropping
us,
Yeah,
everybody.
We had a
thanks for coming to
fantastic
our
time.
creepy studio.
It's always nice to hang out with you guys.
Thanks, Ivan, for playing the ghost part.
That was especially fun.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Sorry, we ignored you for the first 15 minutes.
That's good. It's really fun a bit.
Yeah.
You were, I would dare say, probably the most memorable part of this 2.5 hour long episode.
I like the fact that I embodied the ghost for 15 minutes or so.
Well done, Evan.
Yeah, so we're gonna do some pimping.
Yeah, so now it's our turn to do some pimping.
Okay.
New episodes of Ghost Maps go online every second and fourth Thursday of the month on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and all major platforms. To make sure you never miss an episode, subscribe now and follow us on social media at We Are HANTU. That's one word. I always worry whether I'm going to spell this correct or not. WeAreHantu. If you would like to share your own stories that could inspire future episodes of Ghost Maps, you can reach us through the contact form on hantu.sg. That's hantu.sg/contact. Or message us directly through Facebook and Instagram. You can also buy our official merchandise like t-shirts, tote bags, masks on Redbubble. Or you could be one of our supporters on Patreon. Search for We Are HANTU. Again, that's one word. WeAreHantu. Yeah, right. Right. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, that's
Do you wanna read the sign off together?
No, let's do it. Yeah, sure.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. And remember, just because they're stories, doesn't mean they're not true. Ooh.
Good night, guys.
All right, good night. Thanks, guys. Good night.